Recording live from my apartment tonight. This is Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 246. I'm Sean.
Rene.
This is Bryan.
And welcome to the show.
Woo! This is not the Fortress of Solitude. This is the Hall of Justice.
Yes.
Or is this the Watchtower?
No. The Nerd Tower?
The Nerd
Hall
Tower.
of Justice.
It's the
It's
Temple
small.
of Doom.
Temple of
It's
Doom.
the Temple of
The
Doom.
Temple of Doom.
One of us needs to go bald.
Welcome to Thunderdome.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Check out our go check out our website, keepingupwiththenerd.com, for all the up-to-date information. Check out our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and xmen.com. Check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/keepingupwiththenerds, and check out our audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and now YouTube Music. Noel, you better be posting us and showing us on TV.
I know. Why are you still bringing up Noel?
No, you want to know something?
You're beating a dead horse. And
No,
milking
you
it.
want to know something? Hang on.
He's
He's already dead.
cremated.
No,
Let
here's
the
my
man
problem.
speak.
Let the man. Yeah, let me speak. Damn
Yeah,
it.
let the man speak.
So, what was it? I posted on my socials like, "Hey, we're at 317. Let the new goal be 500, so that we're eligible for. I think it's like YouTube partnership or something like that, or at least we can get like some sort of like perks for being on YouTube." And Noel decides to comment. He's like, "When are you gonna dye your hair?" I think people forget that the point was that my hair was going to be dyed for year 5.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. That's not what you said.
That's what I said.
No.
Let me run that back for you. Smutney was me,
Proposition is 300 subs. I dye my hair for the first episode of year 5.
What color?
So
Damn, I'm good! Can you feel that? Huh? Can you feel it, Captain Compost? The day of redemption is at hand! Repent, and thou shalt be saved.
We can play it back. We
That's
can
not
find the
what you
clip.
said.
It was issue.
Whoever's
250.
editing,
No,
find the clip
no,
of
no,
what
no,
he,
no.
what
What did I
exactly
say?
they
What did I
said.
say?
Well, it's
When-
just hold on.
When we hit 300 subscribers, I will dye my hair. You did
In
not
year
say,
5.
No, he did not say year 5. Did he?
I don't remember
you know,
now.
Okay.
Now we have to look back
Yeah,
at it.
take a look back. Take a look back.
We'll play the tapes. We'll run it back.
I'm sure that I
Now
said
we have
for
to-
year 5.
No, it's him. He's gonna have to find it.
But you have to. That means that you have to comb through like at least 15 issues. Because this
very
was like
beginning.
this was like halfway
I don't
through
think
the
it was
year.
15 issues long.
15 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I don't know.
It might
I
have been like
wanna
5
say-
or 6 weeks. Then.
I want to say we said it in like the end of February, end of March, beginning of April.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the goal.
Yeah,
Because we were
that
at
was around
like
that timeline.
260 something subscribers or
Yeah.
something like that.
And then
Yeah.
we jumped.
And we jumped because we just got a lot of people. Overall,
Thank you
I'm gonna
guys.
do it.
Thank you,
Yeah.
by
Yeah,
the way,
thank you for everything.
for
Yeah.
everybody
I just
that-
gotta
for
ask: do
subbing.
people really think that I am gonna dread dyeing my hair?
No.
Why do you automatically go with the hate comments? Why don't you just go with?
Because like
this
that
is
would
gonna
be like
fun. I'm gonna dye my hair.
I think it's fun. I
There-
can't wait. I've been
What
wanting to
hate
dye my hair.
comments? We have like 2 commenters. Thank you, by the way, for commenting.
2
Yeah,
commenters.
2 commenters.
No, it's
Shout
people-
out to
it's
you.
people
just
that-
Sarah and Eric. That's it.
It's
Thank you
people
guys.
that,
Lewis.
Mhm.
and
Who goes like,
sometimes
"Whoa,
Junior,
dude, that was fun."
and
Yeah.
sometimes Junior.
And none of them
Sometimes
have
Junior.
given you any flack
Yeah,
No,
in
they
the
haven't.
comments.
No, no,
Who's
no.
gi- so
it's
who's
just the
giving
ones
you
that
hate?
personally message me and go like, "When are you gonna dye your hair?" I'm like,
Oh,
"It's gonna happen."
yeah.
You know what? And that's shameful. If you're gonna shame him, do it in the comments.
Do it publicly.
Yeah,
do it
publicly.
publicly.
I think that'd be
Publicly.
fine.
Don't just privately DM him.
Yeah, that's,
no.
that sounds like way too healthy of a
Yeah.
response.
That's content we
Yeah.
could use.
So
folks.
actually,
Right?
That sounds like you're like well adjusted.
so
Like,
I
you
had
should
I
really
had
be
someone
toxic.
tell me
Mhm.
I had someone tell me that they unsubscribed to our channel
Yeah.
because I didn't dye my hair right as soon as we hit 300.
Wait, who did?
Oh yeah, I know
Yeah,
who that
yeah.
was because we did lose a subscriber.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did lose.
I
His
So
Yeah,
it was
and then
within
we
that.
gained
It
one
was
back.
within that same week because he's like, "So why didn't he dye his hair?" And I'm like,
You know what? He
because
was
it's
never a
not.
real one for just subscribing for that then.
"Because
I-
he wants
and
to
then
see
to
me
uns-
suffer." I'm
and
telling
then
you, it's like these people
unsubscribe.
wanted like see
Hey.
me miserable, and I'm like, I don't know why.
I didn't see this person.
It's because you're winning. You know
Just
why?
saying.
You're
You
winning.
had your chance to come and talk to us.
It's true.
and yeah, you missed
Which
out.
We
Yeah.
did have a lot of great people that went to
Art
Cometh.
Fest was
Yeah,
actually
this was
good.
Art Fest
Yeah.
was great.
This
That
Art
was really
Fest was a
good.
lot of fun, in which that's the reason why I brought road beers. Well, podcast beers.
Podcast.
Uh,
beers.
I, w- I mean, I've done road beers before.
We call it a road soda. We have to
Oh,
call it a
that's-
road
that's
soda.
True. We do call it road sodas. But anyway, I wanted to congratulate everybody on a hard work, and everybody gets a relaxing Modelo.
Modelo time.
It's Modelo time.
Modelo time, eh?
If you don't drink a Modelo when you relax,
With your homies.
you're probably drinking Coors, and that's not
yeah.
Coors Light.
And if you're not drinking Coors, you're just drinking Paps.
No, no. I feel attacked on all three ends right there.
Oh, I'm
Why?
sorry, do you drink Pabst?
I had my moment where I did like Pabst. Why? Because it
talked
was
to the
cheap.
beer.
Because it was a great cheap beer.
Dude,
all right.
Natty Light, baby. Come on.
Okay, Natties weren't a thing yet.
Yeah, they were.
No.
See,
In
Paps,
high school,
Paps is good to
Yes.
drink when you're
I
already
didn't
drunk.
notice any Natties in high
Yeah,
school.
'Cause you just
Natty
down
Light
it.
was my
Is it?
number.
Yeah, that's it. It's just water at that point.
Natty Light was my number one beer pong.
Hold up.
I'm 16.
Since
Let's
Nick
go.
brought the beers,
Yeah.
you got the first cheers.
Yes.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I
Good
just
job.
like to say,
Work well done.
yeah,
Cheers.
no,
Yeah.
honestly.
Prost.
You guys,
Cheers to you
Cheers
guys.
to you
yeah,
guys. Yes,
thank you guys.
Yes, exactly. Cheers to you guys.
Thank you for supporting us and watching our stuff.
Yes. For
It
joining
was
us on this road.
an interest. Damn, dude.
He's
Yeah, man.
thirsty.
Oh, I got to that far.
So Brian,
Supposed to chug it.
Oh,
what's wrong with Coors Light?
Nothing. I was just hopping on the same train as they were. I don't care.
You don't like
Funny
Coors?
enough, Coors Light is a train.
Yeah. No. Speaking about
That's
Art
good.
Fest,
I haven't had these in a while.
it was good.
nice
I
and
really
frosty.
enjoyed it. I felt like that was because it was our second year. Things were fairly
lot
easier,
smoother.
Yeah.
Things
like
were a lot
smoother.
Yeah.
I felt like
we
everything went very
had
smooth.
a
Yeah.
much better area to speak and host the show, and
Mhm.
all the vendors, all the guests, friends of the show now, personal friends as well. They all enjoyed themselves being there.
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah,
Great.
so far everybody I've talked to, everybody loved it.
Mhm.
Everybody enjoyed being there. The vibes were good. The customers were good. I know Lewis, like right after he finished, he was just like, "I'm down to sign up for Whittier. Let's do Whittier."
He's all hyped up. He's all like, yeah, let's do it.
He's like, "I'm ready for
Good
this.
vibe.
Let's go."
Yeah.
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 And even
If
with
it's
the
the same
rain
people,
that
I mean-
happened
Yeah.
in the day, like people still showed up.
Yeah.
You know what? And I have to say, I have to do a shout out to Santa Fe, Springs and Santa Fe Art Fest, because when I was talking to some of the vendors, some of them were saying that was the nicest
Yeah.
and like most
Mhm.
helpful of people that were working, and assistance while setting up, and like they were not afraid to like go up to the vendors and say, "Hey, it's hot outside, do you guys want a water?" Or, "Hey, what do you need anything?" Or, "Hey, do you need an extra table, like we can go get it for you," or anything like that. They were very accommodating,
Yeah.
super helpful, everybody was very nice. Yeah, just shout out to them because they did an awesome job.
They did.
Yeah.
They were
Fantastic.
running around. A lot of them were running around like chickens
Yeah.
in the head.
Yeah.
But
Hey, but
and-
they got crap done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it-
pulled off a hell of a show. Like the
Yes.
main stage too, the music performances that they had. They had hula dancers. They had like
They had a
cheer
drone show.
teams.
Oh yeah.
The drone show, yes.
Drone show was
I
pretty
like
dope.
that.
Yeah.
I did not expect a drone show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I wasn't when they were like, "Oh, hey, we have a drone show at 8:30." I was like, "You guys have a drone show?
Yeah.
What is this, Disneyland?
Right.
What is this?"
So funny enough, I was talking to a couple of their representatives there. It does kind of seem like they do want us back for next year, which is good.
I would hope so.
The plan is, if again people are in the area next year, if you guys attended the show, if you guys are avid listeners and watched us there, or stopped by, or at least know, like put in a good word for us, so that way we can make an appearance. Because next year the goal is to potentially expand.
Yeah.
So we went from 4 people in the first year to 8 to hopefully we can get more. Make it a big thing there.
We did 8. I mean, when I was talking to a couple of the vendors, and I was also talking to people that were like walking around, they were saying that our area had a lot more of. There was a lot of people that were going through that area. There was definitely a lot of money being exchanged because there was a lot of vendors that had interesting stuff, and it wasn't like anything that was like around the art fest, so it definitely brought people over to our area.
And when we actually got interviewed by a couple people there.
Yeah.
And they were asking us like,
Was it by the city of Santa Fe Springs?
I think
Yeah,
it was.
it
It was.
was.
I think it was like or not representatives, but people that worked for the city of Santa Fe Springs,
I
and they
think they
try to
do
like
their
put art
social.
into what we were doing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, it is art. It is artful
Mm-hmm.
because from everyone that we brought from all kind of like aspects of the nerd culture, if you want to call it that, right? We had people that created original work. Lewis with the Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
That moshing of Pokemon and
Nintendo characters.
Nintendo characters.
Mhm.
Sarah is a comic book creator and publisher. I think she says she's self-published, right?
Mhm.
She says
Yeah.
self-publishing. You have Matt from Wham Stam who is making their Whamblems, and it's funny how when we met him and brought him in for Santa Fe Springs Art Festival the first year, he was just doing emblems and stuff that was being pulled out of pop culture. Now he's going into, hey, I'm going to be producing my own stuff, and he showed it in the interviews, which, by the way, please go watch those interviews that are popping up throughout the whole week. Nick has been editing them. You've been killing it, so I appreciate that. Yeah, so that's all Nick. So
yeah, I thought it was funny because the more I am editing them, the more I'm noticing of like goofy stuff that was happening in the background.
So we'll get to that point. We'll get to that point because it is funny.
The only reason in which, besides that one that you showed us, speaking of Matt,
Shout out to you, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That
if you're
is-
watching
That was
this,
some
we
great
were
marketing.
looking back
the
at
Great
the
marketing.
funniest
Yeah.
thing any of the vendors did of during every single interview or and here's the funny thing, if you didn't do it on purpose, just say you did,
Yeah.
because it's hilarious.
no, you know what? He did do it on purpose.
Because-
I don't care if he says. Did you listen to the interview as you were editing?
I was
Okay,
yeah.
so did you catch the part that he says like, I don't pay for advertisement. I just kind of let people do the
my advertising for me?
Yeah, and I'm just like, I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it
So,
now.
so look back at the interviews, and every single time the camera cuts to whoever is being interviewed in the far right corner, every time, you just see Matt standing there with his Wham Stam symbol,
Yeah.
and it's just wrapped around his neck, and he's just standing there in the background, and he's not saying anything, he's not doing anything, he's not disturbing, but it's just like a giant billboard that's in the back of every single
I didn't.
interview.
I don't think I caught it the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was just like, when he mentioned it, I'm just like, that makes sense because every time we interviewed, he would always be out of his area. I'm like, oh shoot, okay,
I was
smart.
like, because every single time that he was interviewing, we were interviewing.
Yeah.
I noticed he was out of his area, and then I noticed that he was always like standing to the far right, and I'm like, why are you standing there?
Yeah.
I wonder why he's not like with everything else. And I was like, oh, maybe he can't hear, and he's trying to like get closer so that way he can hear the interview.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, dude, he's being like, he's a true one. He's really paying attention.
So
Nah, man, that dude was trying to like sneak in. What happened?
I need you to write your password on there so I can open the computer.
Oh.
Here you go. But yeah, no, as Nick writes his password so he can get on there. Don't show the camera, please. So we got Wham Stam. We got Philip Art, Kevin Tran, and Jevin, who are all working on a comic book
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
But they also brought their own works, which was great.
Yeah.
Who else are we missing? Rafael
Rafael
Navarro
Navarro.
with what's his name? Javier
Javier Mendez.
Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Yeah. Who both are working on their own stuff as well. Which he said a line that I'll never forget.
What?
Wrestling is just soap opera for men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
Totally.
like,
I'm
I
in the
forgot
middle.
about that, yeah.
I'm in
It
the
is.
middle of his interview right now in editing, and I just see and there's a moment where Brian's brain explodes.
I've heard it before. It's not like it's new,
Uh,
but
You
like
made it sound like it was like the newest.
because
thing
I
you've ever
forgot.
heard.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I forgot.
Good acting, dude.
Good acting.
Did it seem genuine?
It really did.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
so then
I-
it was.
It sounded like his mind was blown.
because
He
it
was
was
like,
because it's
"Whoa,
because I've heard it
wait."
before.
It's a great
Oh
saying.
my God! Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, I've never thought about it like that. Yeah, that's a great point. I was like, oh, good job.
Thank you.
Do your job.
And
You
then
you get on those knees for what you need to do.
yeah, for sure. Juice
You lock in
from
that
Juice Box
interview.
Pins.
Juice
too.
Box Pins,
Juice,
yeah.
Juice actually, I really enjoyed Juice's interview. His
was good,
His interview
yeah.
was really, really fun. He's so genuine. He's such a fun dude
He is.
that I really enjoy
Yeah.
like his interview.
And
It's not one of the longer ones, but it's a good one.
it
It's
is.
a really good one.
It is. And then Noel from Primetime Collectibles
You can
joined us
skip
again
that
for
one, that's fine.
Just because I did that one.
He's got enough
Yeah,
promotion.
He's got enough promotion.
Yeah, he got named. He got name dropped in the beginning of the show. Now he's getting name dropped now.
Yeah.
He's not even paying us.
No.
Like, what is this?
Seriously.
Like, what happened?
Can we get a discounted rate on some product to
No, at
open on
this
the
point,
show?
we should
I need some
encourage him to
Gundam
make a
cards,
studio
that's what
for
I
us in
need.
the back.
Yeah,
What
I
was
need some-
that?
We should, huh?
What was that?
He should make a studio for us in the back.
That would
in the
be
back of
awesome.
Primetime.
Yeah,
That would be
And
awesome.
that way, that'd be for us. And that
Yeah.
way, we're the official radio show for Whittier at that point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got another one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
It
six
It
pack.
is,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, 6-packs come with 6.
Yeah, there
I
you go.
didn't know if you knew that.
It's not a baker's half dozen
No.
or a
It's a-
brewer's
A ba-
dozen.
How much
A
is a
brewer's
baker?
half a
How
baker's
much
half
is a
dozen
baker's
is
half
13.
dozen?
13.
Half
Well, that'd
dozen.
just be
Half
a
dozen.
Oh,
half
dozen.
dozen.
6.
Seven.
So 7.
Seven.
Or 6.5.
Would
That'd
somebody?
be a
would
baker's
say seven.
dozen.
Now my
Bob.
question is that do they do a baker's half dozen?
It's
I've
probably
only seen it. I've only seen somebody say, "Can I get a baker's dozen?" Which is 13.
I mean, if you're in the industry, you probably have said that once or twice in your life
Probably.
as a baker. Bakers have very niche senses of humor.
And you
Yeah.
need 7.
I say 7.
7.
Yeah.
6.5.
It's never 6.5.
They take the
Yeah.
croissant and they just go. You're only getting. half.
That's the snack for them to
You
eat.
want me
That's okay.
Do you want the croissant?
quality control?
That's for
this
you.
way or do you want
that's
it
for
this
me.
way?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna cut croissants, obviously in the middle, you gotta cut it like open so I can shove stuff.
Or do you want me
Hot
to
dog style.
cut the hole
Yeah,
in the middle
man.
and then just you take either the.
What are you gonna
Yes,
do with it?
actually, and put an egg in it, steam it.
Oh,
Cracked pepper,
yeah,
green
that's-
onions,
dude,
boom.
So
Done.
good.
There
I've
you
done
go.
that for breakfast.
Yeah.
Done,
And then
so.
to seal it all in, some cheese on top and some
Oh my
cheese
God.
underneath. Might be onto something.
If you weren't
There you go.
already married,
What does that mean?
Don't worry, you got your mom.
Yeah.
She's
Huh?
you got your
I
mom.
don't live with her.
That's
I
true.
gotta
he
go
big
over
boy
her
now.
house.
Yeah.
He big boy.
Yeah, I'll live with her. I
Yeah.
gotta go to her house.
So now we can dox his old location, which is at blah 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 blah
I'm
blah
just saying, you dox me, I dox
Avenue.
Right?
I'm not saying we live across the street, but I
You know that movie Disturbing?
All right, backdraft.
You
go, we go.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out an obvious point.
No, but
If I go
overall,
down,
Santa Fe
Yeah.
Springs
you go
Festival
down.
was fun, and I'm glad that we got to do it again as friends, as
man.
brothers. It's just a big group, and to all our new followers, all our new subscribers, everyone, thank you so much for everything. Because the new goal is to potentially grow bigger and to do more, and that is the thing is that Santa Fe Springs noticed us. Hopefully, that means that other people and places will notice us.
Though I think that's already starting. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was like one of the greater things when we were at Santa Fe Springs of hearing people coming around, and then there was a couple people that were excited for our area. Like they were coming back. Like they even said like, oh, they came back.
Yeah.
Like, they're back this year. Oh, sweet. And there was a couple people that were like in the audience and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because our audience wasn't full like the whole time.
Well,
there
it was
a lot.
raining, so
Yeah, the rain really.
Technically, if this was like a lap record, there should be an asterisk for weather. That's
Sure.
Yeah.
Because everyone understood what you just said.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Some people did. Nick did.
A lap record?
Yeah, lap record.
Yeah, for which art? For
Like
I
Top
don't know
Gear.
what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I don't know
knows.
what that means. No, I don't.
I know you don't. It's fine. You don't.
Never went to college.
What does that have to do with
What?
anything?
I never learned more than just high school. That's it.
No, like
So you know the metric system.
Yeah. so-
Okay.
Or around
good.
that. Yeah.
Wait, they taught metric system in high school?
No.
in
What
his
did
high
they
school.
I didn't teach they didn't teach me metric systems in high school.
No.
Yeah, they taught
you
you-
went
Should've.
you
Taught
went to
you
a public
Jesus
school,
Christ.
private school too.
in high school. They taught you Jesus Christ in high school. You went to a Catholic
Dude.
school.
They
Yeah,
said the
dude.
power of Christ compels you, and
Yeah.
they threw crucifixes
And the
at
answer's
Nick.
4. Like, X
That's-
means Jesus Christ.
First off,
So
that's
if
not
Jesus
true.
had to carry
Hold
the
on,
cross,
that is not
Find
true.
the circumference
One-
of Jesus'
hold on.
crucifix.
1 plus 1 equals T because it's Jesus on the cross.
instead of the plus sign, instead of the
'Cause he
plus
died
sign
for
when
our
you guys.
sins.
So,
It's
question for you.
one plus which one with a Jesus in the middle and another 1. What does that make?
Oh,
Giant fish. I don't know.
if Jesus said he pulled one fish from the river and then it became 2, how many fish did he add to his pile?
Miracle.
Miracle, faith. It was
That's a
faith.
miracle.
No, I got a story for you
Now
guys.
bring me the leopards.
Bring in the dancing leopards.
I got a story for you guys.
People with like things
This
falling
happened
off.
yesterday.
This happened yesterday.
This happened yesterday.
Uh-huh.
So I'm surprised you. What time did you guys get to the theater yesterday? By the way, we're gonna be talking about Thunderbolts.
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys haven't
Yes.
seen the
Yeah,
thumbnail.
by the
for it.
way,
Yeah.
we have.
Heavy spoilers later on, but we'll
we'll get there.
We'll
get
leave a
there.
big old warning for
Hey,
you
in
guys.
case you guys don't know, though, it's good.
It's
It's good, very good.
It's
Yes.
very good. It's very good.
For our Russian listeners.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we do have 4.
We have 4 Russian listeners.
one Ukrainian.
Yeah, one Ukrainian.
Ukrainian.
Dude, he's dodging bombs and listening to us. No. That's awesome, dude.
Chekhov, what are you doing? I'm listening to the Neds.
Watch out!
Just laugh.
Are you
Just
okay?
laugh.
Is she like-
Just laugh.
Yeah.
Sean, just laugh.
I just wanted. I like.
Are
to
you okay?
think-
Yes, Nick just made a very funny joke about Bryan.
See, I like to
He
think.
called him out on his autism again. Like,
I like to think. That does that. I like to think that our listener is the dude who stole a tank with a tractor.
yeah.
I like to think it's him.
Or it's the ghost.
Or it's the
The
ghost.
ghost of Ukraine, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
He just listens
No,
to
it's
us when he's
the-
flying by.
Was it the ghost of Kiev? Of Kiev.
The
Ghost of Kiev, there you go.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be hilarious as he's like assassinating people. He's just like, Bryan McFunny. And then he pulls the trigger.
Listening to this issue is what gets him his second ace.
When are they gonna bring cake on cake?
That's the only reason I
It's
listen.
the only reason why I
What if
keep
we
listening.
bring cake on cake? What is Ukraine gonna do? Pay in minerals?
Yeah.
Come on, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Hey, those minerals are expensive. Dude.
Yeah.
Come on. You see tariffs? Like,
Uh,
those tariffs. Those. Hey, man.
It costs us a pretty penny at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before I tell you guys the story, real quick, I'm gonna be taking.
I scared him. I scared him so bad.
I'm gonna be
What?
taking
Yeah.
2 weeks vacation, primarily just to spend time with the wife and the baby.
No, Brian, don't go.
Thanks.
We'll miss you so
We
much.
appreciate it.
Oh
yeah.
no. It's
You'll
like,
be.
Yeah, the
Go
Ukrainian
Brian.
guy will.
Go
all right?
Brian.
Brian is leaving.
Just pull the joystick down. Oh, it's gonna crash.
I'm
No.
just gonna let the bomb hit me.
Psych.
He's only gone for 2 weeks. It's fine.
that's what he says as the ground is coming closer. And he's like, well, it's only 2 weeks.
I have backlog
You
anyways.
know what?
It's
I'd
okay.
like to think that he became a Russian prisoner. And
Oh.
he's there for 2 weeks, and then I come back, and he's just like, you know what?
He's in a
It's like
gulag
he
somewhere.
never left.
It's
It's like you never left.
time for my escape. And he breaks out when I come back.
If Brian's out, I'm out.
You know what I really hope? I hope they play our podcast in Guantanamo Bay. That would have been sick. Could you?
It's just torture.
Oh my god.
Why do they keep going?
They're just blasting us in some black site
Dude,
somewhere.
I'm down. That'd be hilarious.
How many
Sleep
listeners
deprivation.
from El Salvador do we have?
I don't know.
That's what we
Check
should
out the
find
analytics. You'll have time on your hands.
I don't know. I think there was at least 20, so that's 20 cells. It's at least 20 cells.
Yeah.
So plan is to be gone for 2 weeks, so 47 and 48, and
Yeah.
then I'll come back for 49,
Mhm.
the annual, and then 250 is when I'll come back. To answer your guys' question about when I dye my hair,
He's not
it
gonna
won't
do
be
it.
until issue 252.
He's a coward.
No, 252. Here's the reason
Yeah.
why. I can't get fired from my job.
You said
Yeah.
You're gonna get fired from your job,
Dude,
literally, you dye your hair.
Dude.
We do a podcast, then you re-dye it. It's not that.
no,
big.
I want to keep the purple hair. Oh, it's going to be purple for my daughter
Why? Why?
because she was born in February and the stone is amethyst.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I thought it was like her favorite color or something.
I like purple too. Yeah.
Mhm.
One of my
Purple's a
favorite
nice
colors.
color.
But I was thinking around like pink is dumb, red doesn't really show.
Purple's a
Going
royal
blind.
color.
Purple's cool.
Blue's always like a go-to.
Blue's always a go-to.
Yeah.
What other colors are there?
Turquoise.
As somebody
Green?
who did
Yeah.
dye their hair,
Ooh, but like Shotzi.
it'll last
Yeah.
about 3 months,
Yeah, that's fine.
like a solid 3 months. Like
Or I just do what you did and just shave.
Are you gonna?
No.
No, because when
I was gonna say.
you don't have the head for it,
Wash your
No.
wash your hair daily, or sorry, twice a day,
you're gonna need a
Yeah.
special
and it'll fade. It'll fade
Yeah.
really.
I mean, I
quick.
want to keep it for the 2 months that I'm on,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm.
on paternity leave, so it's fine. Yeah.
Mhm.
Plus,
So
like,
what
if
do
it looks good, I'll probably just do it for work and I'll be like, what are you gonna do?
So what are you gonna? So
I'm expressing myself.
Yeah.
I really
I have my eat, pray, love.
I think it's super funny if you dye your hair, and then MJ sees you and just screams. Like it's like that moment when dads
Shave their
Shave their
beards. Yeah.
beards,
and you just look
my
different. And she's like, I don't know who this person is.
Don't lose the mustache.
No, so you know
I don't know
what?
who this
I don't
person
think.
is.
I think she's slowly getting the ability to see,
Mm.
but she recognizes her my voice. She recognizes it because she'll calm down if I'm on the phone with Andy. She has me on speaker. Apparently, she puts the podcast on.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
passes out.
Your wife
it's been
was telling
proven.
us.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks in a row. She puts
It'll-
the podcast on and she
It'll calm her. Or
calm her down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Put us
So-
in maternity wards.
Right?
We have one-
Baby approved.
Yeah, we're baby
We're
approved.
baby approved.
apparently.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Our antics are baby approved.
So here's the story. So you guys got to the theater yesterday.
Yes.
Before Nick and I
Before
did.
we did.
Yes.
So Nick, I arrived there at like 8:10. You probably got there around the same time.
Yeah,
Right?
I was looking for parking.
Yeah.
That there was a truck that was stalled, and there was a big old what was it called? Oh my God, there was a
Fair. The circus.
the circus was there, but then
circus? Okay,
also
I
there
wasn't
was
sure
a there was also a
It was just a crap show.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
It was a
don't know
crap
why-
show.
I don't know why I have brain fog.
No, you're good. You're good. You're 2 beers in. So
Yeah,
I get out of my
beer
car.
and a
I
half.
start
Beer and a
walking
half.
towards the theater. And I'm just like on my phone. I'm, just taking my time getting
Tow
there. It's
truck.
fine. It's
It
totally
was the
fine.
tow truck.
Oh, I know which one. I know what you're talking about.
Why
I
was
remember.
the
I saw it
tow
too.
tr-
That's
why
why I
could not
avoided it.
remember the
He was
word tow
buffering.
truck? I
So
did.
I'm probably maybe 2 lanes away from the door
Uh-huh.
to get into the place where we're gonna go watch the movie.
I spotted
and
him
I
as
just
soon
feel-
as I got out of my car.
I feel
spotted
this
him.
on my left side. An arm grabs me. A hand grabs me. On my right side of my hip, another hand grabs me. And we're not talking about like a. We're talking about a, like hard.
dude,
And I just
jumped
hear,
in.
"Give me your effing money." I turn around so fast, dude, and my fist was clenched, ready to sock someone, and I just hear Nick dying of laughter. I'm not even joking. So don't even pretend, because your facial expression was concerned for like a good 3
Oh
seconds.
my God, it was.
It's
worth it.
funny now, though.
It is funny now,
Yeah.
but the thing is, I
It's
think
worth it.
at some point Nick thought that I legit was gonna swing because
Yeah,
he,
'cause I was gonna duck.
yeah, you were ducking.
I got low.
I had to calm down for like a good 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah, you couldn't talk
I've
to me.
never been that afraid of like to punch someone. I was legit in a mode of like, dude, I'm gonna kill this.
You know what? I
motherfucker, dude.
told Monica the story, and I was like, so I scared Bryan, and she goes, "How'd you scare Bryan?" And I told her the same thing, and then she goes, "Well, rightfully so. Why would you do that?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "It's funny." And she goes, "You don't do that in an abandoned mall."
There it is.
Like it's late at night. It's an abandoned mall.
Yep.
So Andy,
She's like, barely anybody's around you. And you just- some dude just walks up to you and goes, "Give me all your money." She goes, "That's where you
said,
would
you
get
know
money."
what? I should have said, give me your dick or something like that. And I'm like,
"Give me
yeah,
that."
that.
I'm
Give
like,
me that.
"Give me
dick."
that chon
And I'm
chon.
like, I think that would have been a lot. I would have.
Give me the
laughed.
baby
Yeah.
maker.
Yeah, exactly. I would have. I was like, oh, it's Nick. But when you say something like, give me your effing money, I'm just like, oh, that's it, dude. This guy's gonna die.
Well, how'd you
Either I
say?
die or you
How'd
die.
you say it?
Oh, I deepened my voice.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, and I walked over. It wasn't because he was so into his phone. I don't know what he was. I don't know. I think you were talking to Andy on your phone.
No, I was. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
He was on his phone and he had no awareness of what was going on.
No.
Honestly, you had it coming.
So Andy actually said. Andy
That's
actually
funny.
said that you were dumb because you have to realize that dad mode clicked in for a second.
Oh yeah, dad mode's clicking in. No, it was your fight or flight.
No, because I've always been passive. I've never felt that.
You would have just let somebody mug you.
I would have just been like, okay, like, fine, take my wallet. But in that moment, when you actually did that, I legit had to calm down for like
Hey,
a good
I'm just
15
gonna say
seconds.
one thing. If that was your fight and flight, it's pretty slow.
For what?
Like just in general.
No,
Like,
because I realized it was you, dude. I actually was gonna swing, and I'm like, I'm not gonna swing at you. What was I gonna do? Actually punch you? For a
You
joke?
you could have, and be like, guys, I gave Nick a black eye,
I
No,
punched
but
Nick.
and
see,
he would. You
would've
telling
been
us
funny.
this?
It was
Rightfully
Nick.
so.
I
It
felt
would've
like
been really funny.
in reality, I did feel bad. I
I
did
don't
feel
know
bad.
why.
I
It was-
apologize to Nick.
No, dad mode is you have no remorse.
No, it was yeah. I mean,
You
No,
you
but you
bury
know-
yourself deeper, and you do not agree,
You-
even if you're
But
wrong.
here's
jo-
the thing.
you
I
Joel
felt
that.
bad because I was.
You-
I
you-
felt bad because in my deepest feelings, I was ready to like punch him, and I really
Oh.
had to resist. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. That's
Well,
not.
So what happened was he's walking through the parking lot. He's into his phone. I realize he does not see me. So I hide behind a truck. And he just walks right in front of me. And I'm like, oh, he doesn't know.
Open season.
And not only that, but then I don't know. I've been wearing these Air Maxes. Do not leave like a footprint. Like doesn't
There's no
like
sound. There's
there's
no nothing.
no sound as I'm walking because I was walking. I couldn't hear me. I was like, oh, I'm silent.
Would you say they're sneakers?
They are definitely sneakers. They are definitely sneakers.
Yeah.
So and then right as I did that, I grabbed him and I put my knuckle right in his back, and that's what I was like, give me all your effing money. And I put my knuckle in his back. I was like, give me all your money.
I did apologize to Nick though, because I felt
Oh,
bad.
he couldn't talk to me for like a good until we got to the line. He could not calm down. Like he was just like, oh, why would you do that? Why would you do that?
It's the adrenaline. It's
Why would
shaking
you
off.
do that?
Yeah.
You're shaking off the adrenaline, and you hear
I'm
that high moment you had, and
And
you're coming
I'm just-
down.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just laughing so hard. He's just like, I don't know why you would do that. I almost destroyed you.
Hold up, I did not say destroy. I did not say
That's
destroy.
that's something
How do I
I
do
knew
that?
you
I
would
almost destroyed
say.
you.
No, I did not.
No.
That I can tell you, I did not
No,
say
he didn't
destroy.
say it, but I'm sure that's what he meant. I'm sure that's what he meant.
I'm pretty sure that deep down inside he meant
Deep down inside, he was like, "Oh, I would have decimated you, like just boom, you would have turned to dust.
I would have annihilated you.
Would have centured you.
Would have
You've been
centured you.
you've been
Would
just
have bowed
shadow.
you.
Oh,
Just
boy.
shadow.
Oh.
Shadow realm you.
just all of a sudden open up my eye.
I can't wait till we get to that part
Oh my
in the episode
Yeah.
later.
Like I would have done it, and I just went. That might be a funnier skit. That might be a funnier.
That might be a funnier skit. Quicker
might-
skit too.
Yeah, that's a lot funnier.
That relies on editing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
I
You
would have
just-
to figure it out.
I can tell you afterwards.
Yeah, we can figure it
That's after. That's
Yeah.
that's an after the.
We'll
the
talk about
issue
it
thing.
later.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyone else have any stories before we jump into comic strips?
We got a new listener. My sister referred to us to one of her friends
Oh yeah.
because he's a truck driver, and he
road again.
needs new music and podcast. And he said as soon as he put us on, he stayed awake the whole time. It helps us stay awake. It helps him
Wow.
stay awake. So which is why he drives at
was
night.
he just pissed off the whole time?
No, he was just enjoying he was just laughing and enjoying what we were listening
Oh,
to
okay. I
and
thought he
stuff.
just hate watching.
Yeah.
He's just on the road and he's just like,
Well, apparently,
Your opinions.
well, apparently he knows me because I unfortunately I don't remember you. His name's Josh. And he's like, oh yeah, because he was like, I was looking at it. He was talking to my sister. He was like, oh yeah, I was looking at it and I heard Rene, and I was like, is that Krista's brother and stuff? And I was like, oh okay, yeah. And I was like, that's cool. So I was happy we got a new listener.
That's sick. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There are
Thank you.
plenty of people that listen to us that aren't subscribed or follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
If you can have any time right now, give us a
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
subscribe. It's free to do.
Yep.
So
On YouTube,
Yeah.
please get us to 500 soon.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can actually start earning monies
Mm-hmm.
off of this.
I'm
It'll be
gonna
fun.
have to start turning tricks if we don't make it.
There we go. Okay.
Or
I
that,
think the fans
or
might
that
want
cake
that.
on Cake OF looks much
Cake
more
on
looks
I'm just
really
saying-
enticing now.
I'm just saying, if you really want money, you would have just let us do it.
Cake on cake.
All we have
Yeah.
to do is just sit on cake.
Yeah,
And
dude,
upload
You
it.
guys can sit on cake. I'm not gonna sit
But
on
it's-
I
cake.
can't
But-
sit on cake now.
But
My
you
ass
have the
got
ju-
small.
But you have the juicy.
That sounds like a person. No.
It is.
You have the juicy.
You got the marketable butt.
The
Yeah.
marketable butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
got
the
that OF butt.
Yeah, it's that butt that has the curves.
Can we make that a Patreon goal? It seems like it worked.
What? Making a I don't know. 'Cause we have to do the first one first, and then we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
start putting.
So if we
other
do a
goals.
Patreon and we tell if we pass $1,000 a month,
If we do
Then
a
I'll sit on a
Patreon.
cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean we have to do the first goal first. You know, we
which
got
is get 500.
No, we got 300.
Now we get five.
Now we got to dye your hair.
Yeah.
Once that's done, and we show that we're men
We
of our
keep promise,
word.
but we can keep the promise is gonna be kept. It's not like I'm gonna run away.
I don't know. As of right now, I feel like you're running away.
I'm not, dude.
I as a
Why
as
you
a,
ducking, Brian? Why you
as a
keep
follow-
ducking?
as a fellow listener,
You're not a listener.
I listen.
Yeah, we are.
I have to listen every time I edit.
No, that's a lie. You've admitted that you don't listen sometimes.
Just he's hearing it to some extent for a second
Yeah,
time.
I remember. I have to clip things.
Mm-hmm.
No, you let AI do that.
Yeah, but I have to pick the section.
Oh my god!
And then you have to
pick
watch it and
which
make sure
AI will
everything's
do.
good. They don't get it. They don't
No,
get it.
yeah. Hey, first off, hold on. AI
Leave the
isn't
editors
just a-
alone, all
Yeah,
right?
first
Because we
off,
can
I
mess with
used
you.
to edit.
First off,
What are you
and-
talking about?
First off, it's not just like a blind tool, all right? We're like foremen, and they're doing the work, all right? Where you have to make sure that it's clipping.
It's
what
just the
we
machine,
want.
Yeah.
and you guys are the operators.
Huh?
You're letting the machine do the work, and you guys are the operators.
Yeah, we're forklift certified.
Yeah, there you go.
Heck
That's all you
yeah.
could have just said.
Yeah.
You didn't
You're
have to
not.
explain.
I'm
over
drone
explain.
certified. Let's do this.
You're drone certified. All right, can we do comic strips?
Yeah.
Comic strips. Comic strip of yours.
Comic strips.
Comic strip.
Comic strips is a portion of the show where we talk about topics
off.
that don't merit a 10 to 15 minute conversation. Are we ready?
Yes.
Why'd you smile at me when I said that?
Huh?
No, Sean. Sean smiled.
Because I've been smiling. You guys are making me
enjoying
laugh.
yourself?
Yeah.
Good. I'm
Are you?
asking.
Also, I think you thought you were gonna take it off. You said you were gonna strip.
No, I heard
Since
you.
when?
I heard you saying that's why I was smiling.
This past
think
weekend,
me and Rene
4
were the only two.
films grossed over $20 million domestically. Can
Sorry,
you
what
guys
did?
guess?
Which one?
4 films grossed $20 million domestically
Okay.
$20 million
20.
This week?
this week.
This week.
Sinners.
This weekend.
This weekend.
Okay, so the past weekend.
The past weekend.
So because Thunderbolts isn't. included
Yes.
in that.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minecraft.
Minecraft 1.
Okay.
Sinners.
Sinners 2.
You know what? Let's throw a curveball.
Mhm.
Let's throw a curveball. Snow White.
No.
No. Absolutely.
Let's strike one. 3 strikes and we'll
that's
kill
not
you.
that's not our curveball here.
What's
On the
been in
third
the
one, you
box
hit
office?
Okay.
On the temple.
What?
Why?
Why?
Here, you can use this.
Why am I gonna get hit in the temple?
Punishment.
Just flick them
Well,
hard
wh-
enough.
Wait, hold on. Why am I?
Oh,
the
now
only
that
one being
now it's
punished?
become a reality. Okay, you guys get 2 more strikes. Here we go. Guess the other 2.
Why am I being the only one punished?
Okay, so we got Sinners, we got Minecraft.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think.
Second
is
strike
there-
happens if you don't put a
Was
guess
there-
in 5 seconds.
That's not how. That's not
I
how.
don't
Five.
even remember what else is in the box office right
Yeah, no,
now.
what's-
'cause-
4.
Okay, can we have multiple choice?
Multiple choice?
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, because I don't
What
even know what's in.
because you don't. 'cause you
we
don't know
got
what's
half
in-
of it already.
yeah, 'cause
What
you
what
don't,
else?
You don't know what else is in the box office.
I
that's
know, and
why.
I was just like, oh.
That's why.
The amateur.
No.
the
The
accountant.
amateur. The accountant.
The
too.
accountant
That's
too.
3.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah, it was
grossed
mine- it was
25
mine.
million?
This
Mine-
one, the last one,
it
you guys
was-
should know
Yeah,
because
it was
it was
Minecraft, Sinners, and
the
which
accountant too, but there's
Mhm.
4, so there's
one?
one more.
Oh, I thought you
And
said
the
only
last
3.
one is a very popular movie that everyone made a big deal about when it went back into theaters.
Oh, Star Wars.
Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Apparently it now has like 85 million.
Yeah,
like,
man.
yeah, it was like huge.
It was the largest. It was the largest re-release of a film,
Yeah.
in which
All
they
of a
then.
sudden, everyone realized
and
how
then
good
Everyone
Revenge of
likes
the
the
Sith looked. Yeah.
prequels.
All of
now.
a sudden,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still
everybody
think
was like,
Anakin is
oh.
bad in it. After rewatching it like a month ago, a
Hayden
few weeks
Christensen?
ago, Hayden Christensen, he is very.
I think if
Broody.
you, I
Listens
think
to
if
Green
you,
Day
it's
on the
ju-
daily.
It's
You
just teenage,
turned her
it's
against
just
me?
teenage
Teenage
angst.
angst.
It's just
He
teenage.
listens to
angst.
My Chemical Romance.
here's my thing though: if you're really gonna be mad at somebody for that,
No, I'm not mad
be,
about it
Be upset with George Lucas if you're
Mhm.
really gonna be upset.
because we had Jar Jar Binks in it.
No, and
Because
that's
we
not
got the
it,
Lucas
because
edits.
Hayden Christensen, because people have said on set, Hayden Christensen was saying it a different way, and every single time he would be like, "You need to be more operatic. You need to be like more over the top and everything." So that was direction from the director, not the actor.
Are you gonna say
himself.
no to the Star Wars guy?
You can't say no to the director.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So so, but Nick is right.
But
Yeah.
I can't.
I mean,
Yeah.
I say no to this guy all the time.
Because
we're not getting paid.
it's less of a no and more of just I'm just gonna disobey.
Mhm.
Just do the total opposite.
No,
Mm-hmm.
with you, Nick, it's like a different track is playing in your head completely.
Well, yeah, the monkey is dead and he's just
It's just that the monkey from the monkey is no longer playing the
he's more of
cymbals in a
he's-
rhythm.
Yeah, he's not.
He's like the monkey at the end. Like that.
He's like a monkey that figured out what porn was.
You know what? I think that's what your conscience is, dude. I think if your conscience was an actual thing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my god.
So what about those 4 movies grossing that much money?
Yeah.
Is there any relevancy?
No, he's just. He's
What
just
do you
making
mean?
a statement.
Oh, okay. You're making a okay.
No, that was it.
Okay.
That was
Yeah,
the
that
4
was-
movies that earned 20 million domestically. I think it was like the first time in like a couple of years that it's happened that
Yeah.
4 films earned 20 million
Wow.
domestically. That means that the theaters are busy this last
They
week.
were.
Yeah.
2 weeks
What was
ago.
it? When we went for Thunderbolts, packed.
Yeah.
Hot.
When I was looking for tickets for Revenge of the Sith, packed. Like there was no seats.
Good. Yeah.
Like all the showings, everything else. Sinners is also getting a re-release for the 70 millimeter.
July or
Oh.
May 15th.
70 millimeter is getting a
Yeah.
re-release.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But in only 5 theaters in California, I think.
Oh,
I don't
City
know.
Walk.
Closest one.
okay.
City Walk is
City
one of
Walk.
them.
Yeah.
I'll go to
That's a
City Walk
70
for it.
millimeter theater. So,
Yeah, City Walk, and I think it's Ontario.
I might have to convince Andy to go, even though she doesn't like horror. I really want
good-
to.
And honestly, I
movie.
was thinking, I was thinking about the same thing for
Yeah.
Monica too, because
Yeah.
I think she would like it because it's not that it's horror, it's different.
Yeah.
And Monica usually hates movies when they're the same thing, and her ADHD catches up with the movie, and she's ahead of it because then she's bored.
But it's because the other aspect is there's been a lot of behind the scenes footage of Ryan Coogler directing the film, and he's having fun, which
Yeah.
is like that's kind of what you want to see
Yeah.
with behind the scenes, that they're not being like ugh kind of thing. It's good. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I'm excited for it. If I'm gonna try to
Have you
convince Andy.
seen have you seen Ryan Coogler? He did there's a YouTube video with him, and he describes what the difference is between film.
Film
He
and
actually,
what?
he actually describes like this is the difference between 70 millimeter. This is why I did it
Oh.
in 70 millimeter. This is the difference between IMAX. This is the difference between Dolby Digital. And he goes through them, and he even pulls the reels.
Oh no, but
And
is it on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
I'll
it's,
look
a,
into
it's
it.
a really cool one, and he goes like step by step of like this is what you're getting when you're going into. This is why I'm doing it in 70 millimeter.
Is he?
This is
in
why I'm
his-
doing it in IMAX.
Is he in his like 40s?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, good for him. Good for
Yeah,
him. He's like the
so-
new age of directors, not egotistical and likes to like.
You know what? It's him. I would say it's him. Jordan Peele is a really good director. A lot of the directors that worked on Thunderbolts, like a lot of the people that were working on that movie are.
But
are
even
a
like
new age.
oh my God, what's his name? The Mandalorian.
Pedro Pascal.
No,
Jon Favreau,
no, the one that works underneath.
Dave
him.
Filoni.
Dave Filoni. Even Dave Filoni.
Well, Dave Filoni
On the younger side.
Yeah, but Dave Filoni comes from like a different world, man. He
Yeah,
came
but
from
I mean, it's like
animation.
it's that realm of like, hey, I'm wanting to direct a project, a film, a series, whatever it is, and they're finding like not just enjoyment in the craft for themselves, but like wanting the people that go watch these movies or series to like learn and understand the passion and the work that goes behind
True,
them.
yeah.
Which is interesting. I like that much rather than as much as I love Dennis Villeneuve. There's a lot of like pretentiousness in his conversations when he talks about film.
Dude, Dennis Villeneuve, when he talks about it, he's like, "Look at the worm. It took me 5 months to make that.
If you don't watch this
worm.
in IMAX, you're not watching Dune,
If
right?
you don't watch this in IMAX, why waste your money?
Dune is it's coming back to IMAX.
Oh, really?
But it's a back-to-back
It's what?
feature.
It's what happened?
Dune and Dune 1 are going back to IMAX, but it's
Dune and-
back-to-back.
You mean Dune and Dune 2?
Dune and, yeah, sorry.
Dune and
Dune
Dune.
and
Dune 1. I was like, oh, did
Dune
you
and
show the
Dune.
same movie twice?
So it's
Down.
And then
Dune.
Dune
and then
and
Dune.
Dune, Dune, Dune.
No, I thought they were going to show the 70s one, and then they were going to
Yeah.
show the new one. And they were like, oh, so at the end, what do you guys think? Like, which one did it better?
You wouldn't do a back-to-back feature of Dune and Dune 2?
Dune and Dune 2?
I would.
I would do.
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Chrissy and I did that actually a few weeks ago.
The
But
second
here-
one, the
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you have to do it in theaters.
the
We
second
would
one
love to do it in
drags.
theaters.
Yeah. Huh?
Second one drags.
The
as
second
a
one
story.
does
The
drag,
second
but I've
one
never
does
seen
have
the first in
drag.
IMAX, and
Yeah.
that's why I want to see it. In
You know
IMAX.
what the thing is that because I've done that. Have you actually like done one of those marathons?
Did you
I've
do it for the
done
Star Wars one?
I did it for the Cornetto trilogy. Yeah,
I did it
yeah.
for The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah.
I did it for The Dark Knight Rises.
Uh-huh.
I did Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and then The Dark Knight Rises because that's when the cops came in
Yeah.
in the middle of the showing.
Mm.
Because that's when the whole like Arroyo thing came
Yeah.
in. Because we were all the way in the back of the theater, and then cops had walked in, and then they like scanned the theater, and then they were like flashing flashlights. We're like, what the hell is going on? And then they just walked out. And they
Oh,
didn't
was
say
that
anything.
the whole like threat of the shooter?
Yeah,
It was
the-
well, 'cause
was the-
it was the whole Arroyo thing,
Yeah.
and then he had said that he was gonna attack other showings, and that he had like people across the country, but he didn't, and everything. So like all the cops had been mobilized to go to like every single theater and
Every
check.
showing of it.
Yeah, and it was so that was wild. But when we were there, we did Batman Begins, that one, and then we also did what was it, The Dark Knight Rises, and then I did Phase 1. It was Phase 1 and 2 of the Avengers.
Was that El Capitan?
No, I did that one at the AMC in Point Hills. So they started at Iron Man 1, and then it ended with Ultron.
Did you guys what time did you guys finish?
It was a day and a half.
See, we're there for 24,
You can go home.
36 hours.
You can go home. But like the movies are still playing.
Kind of
Yeah.
like
Oh,
what
really?
Shia LaBeouf did,
Yeah.
where he
Did
had
you-
all of his films playing.
Yeah, when you do those marathons, you can leave as you please. Like because I left during Thor: The Dark World to go get food. Make a life goal. Just
Yeah,
just
to do that.
Contemplate
really-
life,
yeah, just really contemplate life. And then I was like, oh, and then I realized that Dark Hole was about to end, and I was like, oh wait, hold on, I should probably get back for the next one. And then I came back.
All right, moving on. We did tangent on that one. My bad. Wrexham FC, back in the news. First club I think it's the first club ever to have been promoted back to back to back. They're officially now in the championship, the English championship, meaning that they're one level underneath the Premier League, which is the top.
So
They've really come from like the lowest of lows
Yes.
to like the highest of
so,
highs.
so you mean the idea of money can solve all my problems?
Yes.
But
Yes.
yes, no. But here's the thing. This is
That's what I
because
learned from Wrexham.
Because if you look at it that way, you're kind of missing the picture. Because Ryan Reynolds and what's his name?
Hugh Jackman?
Dave McAnally?
Yeah.
Oh,
$2 million to buy the team, and they just basically use them as a billboard to promote their other stuff. They
Yeah.
got money that way, and then as they just kept getting money and revenue, the team kept getting better.
yeah.
But it was also
They had
cross-promoting.
something to play for. They had
Yeah.
fans. They had people watching now.
Yeah.
But
They had more people watching than they did
Yeah,
before.
but
They
they-
had more of a following.
They had a lot more cross promotion, and then they were also doing like that, like scatter promotion and like the stuff that Ryan Reynolds was doing for like Deadpool, for the Deadpool movies,
Yes.
and everything. And so that was getting people engaged, because Ryan Reynolds' own marketing company was the ones that were really like pushing that, and then he was able to get them like their own, FX series with Dave McElhenney, and
Rob McElhenney.
Rob McElhenney, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Because Rob McElhenney even said, too, he goes, I wouldn't be here unless it was for Ryan Reynolds.
Well, because he has
Literally-
TV money, he doesn't have film money.
Well, because he even said, too, like, when I first pitched this, they didn't care. And then when I said, like, oh, Ryan Reynolds is going to be here, they were like, oh, all right, how much do you need?
Yeah, exactly. But that's crazy to think that $2 million in that team. I think the series came out like 5 years ago when it first started the documentary. I think they've had like 5-6 years under their belt. 3 years?
3.
No,
Yes.
because it's back to back to back.
Was
so
it
that's
before
3.
COVID or after COVID?
It
It was definitely a while after COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was 5
I
years.
think I think it's been about like maybe
4?
Like
I think it
4
came out in
or 3.
2023.
Yeah, it's been like 4
Yeah.
years.
But they weren't promoted one season. They were stagnant.
yeah, that was the first season.
Yeah.
that was
The
the
first
season.
season
Mhm.
they stayed stagnant. And
You're
then
right.
After that, they've been promoted every year.
Yeah.
And they've only had the team for like 3 years.
That's crazy though. That's good for them.
What?
Yeah.
What a turnaround.
Yeah. And it only gets better because if a team keeps doing good, if you're in the championship, English championship, you have the appeal to get better players. Meaning even if they don't get promoted now, they could possibly place 4th or 5th and then do much better in the next season.
You got to ride that momentum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's
Kick
interesting.
that ball in the net.
It's good.
When are they going to hire Ted Lasso?
Right.
That'd be a
So-
great crossover.
That would actually be a really good crossover. If
Yeah, but Ted Lasso's this was the last season, right?
No, he has one more.
Oh, he has one more?
Remember, they're
Imagine
coming
they
back.
cameo at
They're
the end.
making-
No, they're
Oh,
coming back.
that's
They're making
right.
another season. He's going to do their women's league.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Because
right.
at the very end of Ted Lasso, what was it? She drops on Rebecca's desk. It's like, what was it? It's the women's league.
Who's Rebecca?
Rebecca's the main.
The
head
manager.
boss.
Oh, okay.
head
Yeah,
boss.
from Game of Thrones.
Yes, she is from Game of
Yeah,
Thrones.
Yeah.
she is from Game of Thrones.
She's the shame lady.
Yeah. Shine.
But anyway, she drops
Shine.
that they're going to do a women's league, and then apparently they start the women's league,
Shine.
and then it doesn't have the same momentum as the men's league. So that's apparently their pivot to then say we got to bring Ted back,
Shine.
and then they end up
Sean.
bringing Ted
Shop.
and everybody else to the women's league, so that way he can then kind of do what he did for the men for the women, which is also going to be like this interesting kind of like male perspective and female like sports,
Mm-hmm.
where because like all the stuff that he was doing with the men probably is gonna work with female.
I don't know. I don't watch Ted
Players?
Lasso.
It's a good show.
Good
Yeah.
show.
It's a really good
Great
show.
show.
Yeah.
Funny.
You want to talk some wrestling
It's
real
got
quick?
heart.
Yeah,
do it.
talk
You
about.
got
Let's
that?
talk about one thing because we got cut for time. That's why.
Yeah, no worries,
Okay.
no worries. After this, there's only one piece of news, but WrestleMania was 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
Big news was that John Cena defeated Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And over the past 2 weeks, he's kind of made a mission to basically say he's going to ruin wrestling for everyone.
Yeah.
And when he retires from wrestling, he's going to take the Undisputed Championship
With him. Mhm.
basically wiping out any opportunity, chance for other wrestlers to get that championship.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
Way to be
it's a good heel move.
Yeah.
Way to be the buzzkill, John.
Yeah.
But ESPN,
Everybody loves you, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I'm gonna be a jerk.
Right.
I
Hey,
still
but
love
he's-
him.
he's
I still
good.
love him because it's just a character he's
he's just
playing.
a character. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, that's him.
That's
How
actually
dare you? Do
No.
not besmirch that man.
Peacemaker is a jerk.
He's gonna give you an
Pacemaker,
attitude
it's
adjustment.
Peacemaker.
Nah,
The
it's
Peacemaker's Peacemaker. ESPN
His dad's Peacemaker.
projects John Cena's final matches in WWE. So it's basically like their predictions as to what's going to happen. So from now until December, there's plenty of events: Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, Backlash. There's a couple Saturday main nights, Saturday nights. I forget what they're called, but when I get to it, I'll explain it. So with Backlash, John Cena and Randy Orton are supposed to wrestle. John Cena wins that one at Backlash in May. So that's
I don't
within
think
a
he
couple weeks.
will.
You think Randy Orton?
I think
takes it?
Randy's gonna win because it's a story that I kind of want to see unfold.
I
It's a rivalry that's been around for 25 years, and then how great would it be if Randy takes the belt from John Cena? Cody Rhodes comes back. In order to get the belt, he has to go through Randy Orton, his former mentor, and stuff. You
Yeah,
know?
that's a better story.
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of
better
people
story.
have been talking about the way that Randy Orton retained his championship
Mhm.
in the last match that he had with John Cena when he slapped the referee and got DQ'd.
Oh, yeah, he got
and that's how he
DQ'd,
kept
yeah,
the
that's
Undisputed
how he kept the
Championship.
belt, yeah.
So they might say that John Cena might pull a similar trick.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense. If he
Yeah.
does that because he's playing this new heel move, and
Yeah.
he'll do anything to keep the title.
Exactly, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's gonna
He'll
keep
chicken
it.
out. Yeah,
Yeah,
He'll
exactly.
take the coward's way out. Yeah.
ESPN projects that Jey Uso will wrestle John Cena. John Cena will also try to take the World Heavyweight Championship, and Jey
Oh.
Uso defeats John Cena at Money in the Bank
Did you-
in June.
Speaking of which, did you see the Jason Momoa interview?
No.
Oh, about with Jey Uso.
Jey Uso?
Yeah. I think I said it to you. It was
Jason Momoa did an interview recently, and then somebody brought up Jey Uso because they were like, "Oh, you have Jey Uso glasses,
yeah.
like inside of my
Oh,
car.
the Yeet glasses.
use
Yeah.
the those," and then he was like, "No, I didn't."
Yeah.
He goes, "No."
He goes like, I just like these glasses.
He's like,
It's
"I like." No, he said, "I have Randy Savage's glasses. I don't have Jey Uso's
Yeah.
glasses." He goes, and then they were like, because when he first asked him, he goes, "Who's Jey Uso? I don't know who that is."
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I have no idea who that is.
But was he
And
being for real?
I don't know.
I don't know, yeah.
But then they asked Jey Uso, and they were like, "Oh, what do you think of Jason Momoa saying that he doesn't know who you are?" And then he's like, "Oh, I don't know who he is."
Yeah.
You know?
And then he said
and
like,
him and those fake
yeah.
Samoa with
Yeah.
those fake tribal tattoos. I
Tattoos,
got real
yeah.
ones.
wow. He called him out. He goes. I don't know what that is. You know,
I got no
these are
Aquaman
what my
tattoos.
tribals are. He was like that, and he's all like, it was so funny. He was like, oh yeah, you know what? I didn't even like Aquaman.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I didn't
he's like, but I'm just kidding though. You know, Jason Momoa, those actually were fun movies.
He's like, I actually really liked Aquaman. It was good.
That's gonna be funny because that real life beef or whatever they could do, it could turn into a fun wrestling thing
I think in an
if you wanted
alternate
to
life,
promote.
Jason Momoa could have been a wrestler.
He can.
He could have
flip
been.
here. You have Travis Scott on there. Why not Jason Momoa?
Yeah.
I mean, he's better than what's his name?
Bad Bunny?
No. What's the other one?
Stephen Amell.
No. Come back to me.
Okay,
Logan
I'll get
Paul?
back to you.
Logan.
Logan
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
John Cena
Face.
defeats CM Punk at Saturday Night Main Event
Mm-hmm.
in July. So that I don't know how that story will unfold.
Yeah.
They go on to say John Cena and Travis Scott defeat Cody Rhodes and Bad Bunny at SummerSlam. I don't know how you would put Cody Rhodes
I
and
don't-
Bad Bunny.
I don't know
together.
why I am not interested in a long reign title reign from John Cena.
Because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because he's gonna leave,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously whoever's left. I mean, whoever.
Also, do you want him to leave as a heel?
That's the thing. I don't know what they're gonna do with this whole
See,
storyline.
I feel that they should just be throwing matches at John.
Yeah.
Like every single time he's on stage, he's doing a match.
Mm-hmm.
Like really use him up.
Yeah.
and then make it so that way he's like, I'm the undisputed champion, and then make it so that way everybody that he's fought so far, I'll jump him and steal the belt.
They could be a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Then they talk about Joe Henry.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Being defeating John Cena via disqualification at TNA's I can't even read my writing.
Do you
at
really
this
think
point.
Joe Henry would be
Victory
champion?
Road? Huh?
No.
You really think Joe Henry would be champion?
No.
No.
No. But it's by DQ, so there's no championship
Transfer?
chance. Yeah, and it's also at TNA, so that means that John Cena would be going for the TNA championship that he has if he's still holding
I
it
feel like that's just wishful thinking.
in September. Yeah,
It's
no.
just because
Same.
Joe Henry is so big right now.
Then John Cena defeats Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. I don't know why, unless it's a triple threat.
I guess we have to see how Seth Rollins gets involved in all that.
See, my big thing is that because what I thought it was gonna be The Rock. I thought we were gonna have more Rock out of this.
So
that's
a lot
the
of
thing that
people,
pisses me off,
yeah,
yeah.
a lot of people were saying like, "Where's The Rock? You know, how come he wasn't involved?" But he kind of shot himself in the foot. In an interview, he was asked, you know, about WrestleMania 41 and the letdown in it, and then he said in an interview, he goes, "Well, you know, I wasn't part of it, so I don't know what happened or I don't know what was going
You were
on."
on the
And
board.
it just, yeah.
You knew about it.
And then he's like, you know, I just wasn't involved throughout the whole storyline process. And I was just like, dude, what are you doing?
He initiated like several different aspects of that part, so I don't know why he wouldn't want to be there.
That's what I
the
mean
thing.
though, is that like he did the whole like that thing. He did he did everything that like really initiated. You know what I would love? I would love to know what changed John Cena, because I feel like that hasn't really been explained. The whole like heel turn.
So that was a last minute decision that they did for Elimination Chamber. It was getting ticket sales weren't getting a lot. So when they announced, it was like 2 weeks.
John Cena was gonna be there.
John Cena was going to be there regardless. But the thing was is that people weren't excited for it. And then when they announced like 2 or 3 weeks before Elimination Chamber, they said The Rock's going to be there. Then they did that whole thing with like The Rock and Cody and stuff. Like, I'm going to ask you a question and I'm going to need that answer and stuff. That whole debacle.
I know, but that's what I mean though, is that if that's the thing that's selling, that storyline, keep the storyline. Like, I would have loved the idea of two rivals, like The Rock and John Cena, and they've now banded together to hold the title. Like, because that's the only way they could, is if these two legends were like, we're gonna just hold that title and we're gonna retire it.
I do like, because the last part says that Cody Rhodes defeats John Cena to become Undisputed Championship at Saturday Night Main Event in December. So we'd have almost a full year without him holding the belt. I do like Renee's idea of Randy Orton.
Yeah, that's a better idea.
That's a better one, because it allows John Cena to kind of have a turn back. Because that's the thing is, do you really want to retire as a heel when you've kind of been known as a face for so long?
Superman?
No,
Yeah.
John Cena loves the fans too much for that. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if you kind of give that belt to Randy Orton, and the whole gimmick of Randy Orton is he was never a face, he was a heel, and he still has the like, well, I have voices in my head that tell me that I should do things. Once he gets the belt, have him become the heel and have him basically just destroy everything. He's the legend killer.
Yeah, he's a legend killer.
So that makes sense.
But if that's the case, then you need to get rid of the bloodline. Like, he needs to.
The bloodline no longer exists.
No, but I mean, like, in general, like, you need to get rid of the big boss. You need to get rid of.
Oh, he already went after them, and that's what he was injured for a while.
For Randy Orton?
Randy Orton, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He went up against the bloodline, and they injured him, and that's why he had to get like neck surgery.
The only reason why this storyline could potentially be ruined is if The Rock makes an appearance again to insert himself in the story.
I think they will do that now because they realize, okay, having Travis Scott, having John Cena is not enough. We need to have The Rock. We need to have the final
But then
boss.
he needs to start putting effort. There's no effort.
Well,
the
no,
only thing he shows up.
No, but that's the thing. Because he wasn't involved in this, because himself is not in the story, he doesn't give a crap. That's how The Rock works.
I feel like because it's not his idea.
Yeah.
He's like me.
It's not his baby, so he doesn't care.
Because I feel like that's also what happened with Cody getting the championship because he wanted it.
Yeah.
he was like, no, I want to get the champion. Like I want to get the championship again. I'm gonna beat Roman Reigns.
Well, you kind of hit the nail a couple weeks back when you're just like, well, I think The Rock has a kink. Because he's always slapping Cody with the belt. And I'm like, yeah, it's 100% because like the belt gimmick, it's kind of like denying you're an addict when we all know that you are.
He wears the belt during sex.
Yeah.
Like I no way. But to be all fair, I would too. I mean, if
the one with Cody's blood or the one without Cody's blood?
No.
Because there is one where he grabs his blood and smears it on it.
It says
You know
Mama
what? That's-
Rhodes
that-
on it.
that's-
Oh yeah, it says Mama Rhodes.
Yeah, maybe that's like where the kink starts to evolve. That's when. You know when you're
Before
like
he goes into a big meeting, he grabs the belt, goes.
You know what? You know when like when like people like they just like get choked a little bit, and then all of a sudden then they bought like a rig, and they were like, and then like they have a whole setup in their house, and like maybe this went too far.
Then they just have just like a dangling noose. Yeah.
It's that moment when he kicks the chair from underneath him, and then he realizes I have no way of getting down.
Yeah.
And then that thought goes through his head, going, "This went too far."
This went too far, but I'm guessing by how tight it is, I have about 5 minutes.
I got about 5 minutes, so I better finish.
Right.
We're talking about The Rock.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Talking about The Rock.
he was a little concerned. He looked
Yeah, I
concerned.
was like, what? What are you guys
No,
talking
I
about?
was-
Nooses now?
I
Go
don't
take
know,
a
I was-
piss?
I was talking about The Rock and the fact that because a couple weeks back, I don't know if you remember, I said that The Rock has a weird kink where he just likes to beat people with a
Yeah.
belt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I said he definitely wears it during sex.
probably.
Yeah.
And then he was like, and then he asked me, "Oh, do you think he wears the one with Cody Rhodes' blood on it?" And I go, "Probably, but that's how you know
Like
that,
slicking
like,
it.
but that's probably like how you know
Like
that
say-
like
yeah.
the kink has gotten weird. Like that's when you know the kink is weird.
Yeah.
You're like, I think this is weird.
I took it too far.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
definitely too
Yeah.
far.
All right. To conclude, just two short pieces of information. One of them, we'll just acknowledge it right now. Polygon has been sold.
Polygon.
What's Polygon?
Good job, Sean.
You guys were talking about
Thank
that
you.
Game
earlier.
rent.
You're
So
terrible
Vox
job.
Media has officially sold Polygon, and now they belong
Yeah.
to a different entity. The sad part is that they laid off 20 staff members. Either some of them left by choice because they didn't agree with the buyout. Some of them just lost their jobs. Lost their jobs. Serious matter, not funny.
What's Polygon?
But Polygon,
It's a
get-
video.
I don't know.
It's like a video game.
It's
tech.
Publishing.
Oh, wait, you don't know what Polygon is? for
Yeah,
real?
I don't know what that
Oh,
is.
it's a journal. It's
Oh, okay.
literally like a
It's
website.
another
It's a
really
Game
bad.
Informer.
It's a really bad video
Oh.
game
No,
No, because
journalism
Game
company.
Informer at least had credibility.
Yeah,
But that's what I mean, though.
Polygon
it's
doesn't.
it's a not as good Game Informer,
Yeah.
and they had like some hot takes.
BuzzFeed for gamers.
That's a good
Yeah.
way of putting it.
BuzzFeed for gamers. There you go.
So
Yeah.
toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
No,
hit pieces
hold
too.
on,
They did
wait a
hit
minute.
pieces.
No, I would say that Kotaku is BuzzFeed for gamers.
Well,
Kotaku's
a lot of
still
those
out there.
writers that worked on Kotaku also worked
At Polygon.
well, they did stories. They ran stories for Polygon.
But apparently they sold them to the company that owns Game Rent because Polygon is it's a clickbaitable
Yeah.
website. So they're using it for traffic. That's all it's going to be. So I don't know. I mean, AI is what they're saying is that they're just
What
going to
have
be.
we become?
Let's see.
That's it.
See what becomes
Last
of
piece
it.
of news: Grand Theft Auto 6 has officially been delayed again.
Oh,
May
somebody's
26th of 2026.
Were we
My
supposed
daughter will walk.
We're gonna get
My
100
daughter will
men
probably
fighting a
run
gorilla
before
before we
Grand
get
Theft Auto 6 comes
GTA.
out.
Dude,
Probably.
if it doesn't get delayed one more time,
You think 27?
dude, I think this thing is gonna be Half-Life 2. no,
Oh
Half-Life
well,
3.
no. Half-Life 3 never got really a trailers like we have.
No, but I'm just saying, man. I wouldn't be
It's
surprised.
this red herring.
I wouldn't be surprised if Rocksteady Games just 6 more months. 6 more months and it's gonna be perfect.
Let's
And
move the
then-
goalposts again.
And then as soon as like 4 months start passing, they're like, I think we need like 3 more months. Like 3 more months, and I think it's gonna be perfect. I think
The
it's
whole
gonna be
game's
perfect.
gonna get leaked by the
But
kid
you know
again.
What?
Dude,
They're
I
gonna do
know.
the exact same thing that happened with Grand Theft Auto 5. That it came out, it was playable for like 3-4 years, and then you couldn't play it on like the hardware that it was built for, which was like the 360 and the 4, because they just started adding a bunch of stuff to the online. So then you had to get it for the Xbox One
You
and
had
the PlayStation 5.
because the Xbox, because their multiplayer, the Grand Theft Auto Online was insane,
Yeah.
and
People
this-
still play it heavily today.
Yeah,
It's
but,
it's wild.
but the amount of like the amount of like how hard it is on the system,
Mm-hmm.
you have to play it on like a newer, like on a pro.
Wow.
some kind of like like on an S or a Pro. If you really want to get that experience from it, then yeah, especially if you're gonna do the lip tracking and you're gonna do like all of the other stuff like the in-game mods and everything, you have to do it on a better version.
I just find it so interesting that people complain about the fact that it's console only for now and not PC. To me, it's a good thing.
That's always been the case, though.
It's always been a thing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's a good thing because people forget that if you build a game for PC, when you move it to console,
It sucks.
it's a downgrade.
Yeah.
So if you build it for console, then you're going to have a bigger market there because anyone can get it. People that have the regular PlayStation 5 and not the Pro can probably still play it at 30 frames per second, maybe 24, but they're still going to play it.
But that's like wild. Like a PlayStation 5, which is what, 4 years old at this point, maybe. 6?
It was pre-COVID.
For what?
For a
PlayStation
PlayStation 5?
It was like 5.
It was pre-COVID.
It was pre-COVID,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah, that's how long this generation's been around.
It's not the longest generation.
No.
No,
but,
it's not the
but
longest,
For it,
but-
but for it to like not even run on that console, like
Mhm.
at 60 frames, 120 frames, that's ridiculous.
I think the PS5
Like-
was probably PS5 was just after COVID, wasn't it?
I thought it. I
No,
thought
because
it.
It was right
remember-
before.
Sir, you have
before-
a phone. Can you check for me real quick?
It was
Over there.
it was pre-COVID because
Is it 2019? I think it was 2019. Is it 2019?
But
or
the
2020?
2019, I
this
think.
also
the scarcity.
factor in the scarcity of it, which felt like maybe that's why we're thinking of it. In like
It
it was
could be.
after COVID.
Because I remember still.
It was during the chip crisis.
Because I remember still getting one. It's still being hard to get one during
Did you find the answer?
COVID.
Okay, don't tell us. Put your bets in.
2019,
2020.
July,
20
May.
Oh wait, are we doing?
Are we doing months too?
I think I remember it coming out in May.
2019.
May is like a release
Yeah.
date for Sony consoles.
I'll do June 2018.
I'll do November 2020.
Okay. You good? You just put yours? I didn't hear yours.
Yeah,
That's
he said May 2019.
Okay. November 19th, 2020.
Oh, so it was
Okay. So it was in the middle of COVID.
yeah.
November 2020. Hell
That's
yeah.
wild that it released in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're right. It's not the longest generation, but usually a generation cycle is like 4 years.
Yeah,
Should've
I don't know
already
why I thought it
cycled
was
that.
longer. I feel like during COVID I got one. Oh no. During COVID I got a Pro. I got the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Which was weird because I think the PlayStation 4 Pro came out 2019, 20.
Yeah.
It was like a year or something.
I got mine, I think, in
21.
2021. Yeah, 2021.
We had 1 year with the podcast when you got it.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
PlayStation Pro?
No, the PlayStation, my PS5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Honestly, GTA 6 is
I
going to
want
come
I
out
want reasons why. I
Because
want to know
they're making the
reasons,
game
and they better
better.
be valid.
because they're trying to make the
reasons.
game better.
You know what?
I think 'cause it's
Just start
Rockstar.
releasing sections. Do it in episodes. Give me
The
give-
map, they just lock like 3 different districts and they just give you a portion of it.
Yeah, do bridges.
Live events.
Dude.
Live events. It would
Aren't
it
they-
would one up what Fortnite does with
Aren't-
live events.
Aren't they doing something in the release of the game where you have to buy something like a DLC pack that we would normally play in a GTA?
No,
don't know.
I
thought
think
they
that
were
was
doing
with
something
5.
like that. Oh,
That
it
was with
just 5?
5.
Okay.
Because you had GTA and then you had,
Mm.
I think you had to pay something to be able to get the full experience of GTA 5 online or GTA Online. Because it was no
okay.
longer GTA 5 online, it
Mhm.
was GTA Online.
No,
Mm.
GTA Online didn't come out for almost 6 months.
Hmm.
You couldn't use it the first
When it first came out.
When it first came out, it wasn't
Yeah,
available
but
for like 6
but
months.
remember it was GTA 5 the online multiplayer and then
Yes.
GTA Online was its own separate thing.
Yeah.
You still had to get GTA 5 but it no longer was necessarily attached to it. It was something stupid.
It was something.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they did it where, like kind of like.
And then their economy messed up and there's a whole ordeal.
It is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. So, I don't know, we'll see whenever GTA 6 comes
Rocksteady,
out.
come on. Get it
My daughter will be
together.
in preschool.
Dude, I'm
Get
not
it
gonna lie though,
together.
but like when you hear some of the stuff that like there's response time in that game, that's insane. The fact that the cops have a response time.
Yeah.
They drive a response time.
Well, because before it used to just be like, oh yeah, like they're just gonna show up, but now it's like, oh, they're always roaming in the map.
Yeah.
So now they have a response time where it's like, oh, wherever they were on the map, now they're gonna just appear. It's
Well,
not
we
gonna be
all
like
talk like here's the thing. Look at Sean right now. He's disappointed. You're still going to buy it day 1.
No.
Really?
I've never bought a GTA game day one. I don't buy games day one. No Man's Sky, showed me better.
That's true. No Man's Sky,
After No Man's Sky, and I praise the high heavens of No Man's Sky. And when that game came out, I had egg on my face. I looked so stupid.
Yeah.
Because I had a group of my friends. I showed them the trailer. I'm like, guys, let's get this game. Let's play it eventually. They said multiplayer. We're gonna get it, so we'll all know like the portions of the galaxy and stuff.
Nothing.
Unplayable schlep. It was terrible. It was so bad.
Did you mean schlock and you said
No,
slut?
schmut.
It
was a mixture of schlot and schmuck.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just so passionate about that
Then
he's
calling
just
it
like,
a slut. I
that was the
like,
first
what?
time he experienced getting cheated on.
so bad. It was so bad.
It's not.
No,
it's
No
not
Man's
even-
Sky did me worse.
No.
It cucked you.
No, because I feel like
No.
No, because I feel like
No.
I feel like if you were really
It
gonna
did.
go for a video
It did. No Man's Sky did.
No.
You sat on a chair. You
No.
sat on the hotel chair. You made you watch
no-
as it just
no
said,
matter
"Look what
I
I'm gonna
forced
do."
myself to play it too. I forced myself to
that
really enjoy it, and I was
sucks.
like,
no matter what, I still feel
F
that
this.
if you're gonna go with like I got boned when the game released, it's still Andromeda. It's still Mass Effect Andromeda.
oh,
I
that was
skimmed
another one.
Andromeda.
That was another one.
I was so
did
lucky
my
I never played
pre-order.
Andromeda.
Good.
And I don't. Yeah.
Because you know why? You're falling through the map and lost
Jeez.
all of your
No,
weapons
you know
Oh my
why I didn't pick up
God.
and all
Andromeda?
of your powers.
You know why I didn't pick up Andromeda? Because the
Huh.
ending of 3 kind of pissed me off.
Well, yeah, it pissed everybody off.
Yeah, so I was just like, I can't do this.
No,
give me a
I-
proper,
I-
give me a proper
I-
Mass Effect
So
4.
I was playing Andromeda and I was enjoying it, and I was like, this game is fine. I don't know what everybody's complaining about. And then
Falls
I
through
was,
the map.
dude, and
Yeah.
then I was playing it, and I was running towards a mission, fell through the map, and I was like, what? Like it was like there was a sinkhole or like just like this hole on the map, and my character just fell
Was
right
it that
through
jungle planet? That was
No,
also
it was
like
the
part
normal
tech.
planet.
Oh.
And then as soon as I fell through, I was like, okay, and then it killed me, and then when I respawned, it took away all of my points for my XP. It took up any upgrades that I had done.
So
and
you also
everything
got
else.
cucked.
It took away all my weapons.
Oh no!
It took away every.
didn't-
I was just
the-
running
the-
around as a naked person,
So you didn't get cucked. You got left.
dude. I got,
You got married and then they just left you.
Yeah.
They didn't even
I
leave a
got
note.
dry.
dude. I got strapped to a thing naked, and then they walked out the room.
Yeah.
Like with like a vibrator just on, like
Plugged into the wall too.
the
The motor's gonna die before that the battery goes. So
Like they just
you're
left me
screwed.
Found
there,
you.
and I
That's
was
my
duct-
question. Who
And I was
found
just
you?
duct tape, like and I'm like this, and then it just. It's not even in me. It's just there. I just got
hovering.
left.
So now every time you hear a vibrator, you just get brought back to that moment. You're like, never again.
Yeah, never again.
That was like That was the beginning of the downfall for EA.
You ever had a game that disappointed you that badly?
What happened?
No, I'm talking to Rene. See if you had a game that disappointed him that badly.
I think there was a time in my life where I was like going to GameStop and I was just buying the cheap games for PlayStation 2. And I remember watching the footage for the X-Men Origins Wolverine video game.
Ooh,
But the
Wolverine
uncaged,
Yeah.
the uncaged, unrated edition. And I was like, ooh, it's so bloody. It was so great. So I went to GameStop. I was like, okay. I was looking into the PlayStation 2 section, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. There it is. Well, X-Men Origins Wolverine. And I bought it. And I was like, and I'm playing it, and it's so mild. And I'm like, what? I'm like, this should be M. And I looked at it, and I looked at the box, and I was like, this says E for everyone. And I was like, what the heck? And so then I looked online. I had to like do research. And I remember online they said PlayStation 3 version and Xbox 360 version are unrated. PlayStation 2 is E for everyone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was back
Yeah.
when they used to make different versions. For
Yeah.
So you just got lied to.
Yeah. I went on YouTube. I remember watching YouTube and I was like, I saw the clip. It was like a clip of Wolverine not in game, but like the cutscene in the future. And he is like handcuffed and he's ripping his skin off from his hand. And he's like fighting all these guys. And I'm like,
That game is awesome.
It's so good.
I love that
Yeah.
game.
As soon as I got a PS3, I bought that game and I was like,
I'm gonna rebuy it.
I'm gonna rebuy it. It was so
Story was
bloody.
confusing and like.
Oh, I was jumping
okay.
all over the place.
Yeah,
man.
but I mean the gameplay. I
action
love.
was fun.
Yeah,
you
the little
didn't-
mini bosses.
You didn't do the which one? I spent the same $50 to get like 8 games at GameStop.
Mm-mm.
See what you do is you go to GameStop
Mm-hmm.
and instead of buying a brand new game,
Mm-hmm.
you get a used game.
Yeah.
because GameStop has a 7-day warranty on their used games. So you then go to and then you play the game. You finish the game within 7 days.
Yeah.
Then you go back to GameStop and then you return the game. And instead of giving you the deducted price, they'll give you the whole price of what you spent on the used game. And then once you do that, you then put that money towards a new used game. And all you have to do is tell them, I didn't like the game. And then once you return the game and then you get a new game, your 7 days restarts. And then you just keep doing it over and over again.
And you
That's
make profit.
No, honestly, you just spend $60 and you just keep on getting games.
You just get a new game.
You just get a new game like every week. And that's your new game that you're playing. But if you miss your 7 days,
You have to keep it.
you keep it.
Yeah.
So you got to be on it.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Right
what happens
there.
when I used to work at GameStop.
Expose them.
Alrighty.
I was
So
taught that when my first day working there.
that
Tricks of the
ends
trade.
comic strips. Should we start talking about Thunderbolts?
Yeah.
Asterisk?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Asterisks.
Thunderbolts Asterix released this last weekend. I think it's on track to make $180 million domestically.
I
I'm not
think
100%
this
sure.
movie will touch Endgame numbers
Yeah.
by
It
the time it's
will.
done.
Oh, by the time it's done. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think
I can see that.
because I haven't we've gone to see every single Marvel movie for the most part
Yes.
since
No, I think we
Endgame.
haven't missed. We haven't missed one.
no we haven't missed one yet.
You missed one.
You missed one.
Which
we
one?
didn't.
Captain America.
Right? No,
Yeah.
but I went to watch it.
You
Oh,
went
that's
to go
right.
watch. Did
But
you
you
go
see it
watch
with us.
Andy?
No, I watched it by myself.
Mm.
Oh, that's sad. Anyway,
No, there's nothing sad with seeing a movie by yourself. I would do it all the
Thank
time.
you, Sean.
Same.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Air fist bump. Pass it along.
I can't see movies by myself. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah, because you
Why?
have no one to
Why do you-
harass.
I feel like
There was a summer I was watching movies by myself.
Hold up. Why can't you do it? Because you have the urge?
huh?
Is that why? If you're in a room by yourself, do you have the urge to just,
to do what?
you tell me, dude, because apparently you can't watch a movie by yourself.
No, it's
Then why can't you
because
just go watch a movie by yourself? I want to go watch The
weird.
Northman.
Huh?
Great movie.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had friends that wanted to go see it with me, so I took
Yeah.
them.
You know what? Sometimes going to a theater by yourself,
Yeah,
great experience.
it
Yeah.
really is.
Honestly,
I enjoy it.
I've been to
Force
the
Top Gun.
Awaken.
I watched Top Gun Maverick twice by myself.
I've been to the theater by myself like twice in my life, and I hated it both times.
Which
Why?
movies?
I
Bullet
did-
Train.
I did not like it.
Because he had no one to tell jokes to.
I did. It was 100%.
It was just bottling up in it, and he's just like,
Nick would be sitting in the theater and then he'd look over and be like,
I don't know you.
That actually
no,
did
he,
Yeah.
he probably would still.
I don't know you.
Listen, I know you're saying that as a joke.
Yeah.
but that actually
did
happened.
That's in your head. Yeah.
That did happen.
Yeah.
And it's not a great moment for me.
It isn't, especially with your ADHD.
You watching a movie like
That's a Shadow Zone moment. when Nick is taken to the Shadow Zone, that's the moment he's reliving.
No,
That's his void.
That's his void.
You ever thought of a funny joke in the middle of Pirates of the Caribbean, dead man's chest, and then all of a sudden you turn to the lady next to you and you realize that it's this old 60-year-old lady watching a Disney movie, and she's not gonna get your dick joke? Like,
She would have laughed. She would have. You
no,
don't
she
know.
probably
would have
would've made her day.
appalled. She would have been appalled. I was
She
at the
probably would
Linear
have taken you
Cinema.
home, dude.
Huh?
She probably would have taken you home.
I was like 14 at the time. It would not have been a great sight. That lady would have been looking for my father. Who,
She's just spanking you in the middle of the theater. How dare you?
no, my dad would have punched her in the face. But my dad is not a violent man, but you touch his kids,
Things change.
Things change. Especially if we didn't deserve it.
Speaking about protective fathers, Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find it really funny. So, okay, overall, out of 10, what do you guys give it?
10.
10?
10.
10?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I give it
Okay.
a solid 10.
Let's bring in the 7 into the group, which was given by IGN. Did you guys?
IGN gave it a 7.
I-
IGN gave it
IGN
a 7,
can
but
suck my
here's why.
dick.
Here's why. Hang
I'm
on,
sorry. It's
no,
IGN.
no,
I don't care.
100%.
Yeah, I don't. Go ahead.
You know what? For me, honestly, Thunderbolts 8.5. I don't think it's a full 10. Only reason being is because I told Rene the movie is very slow to start, but it picks up in the second and
I
third
don't
act.
think it
great.
was
I
slow.
don't feel like it was slow.
Because that time needed to be spent with those
did.
characters,
It did,
and they
yeah.
just couldn't go from like, "Hey, we're here, now we're here." That's the old Marvel.
No,
that's
yes.
that's
No,
the
no,
bad
100%.
Marvel.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually really thought when we got to New York, I was like, we're here already.
Yeah, it was quick. But
we're
that's why
already
the
in New
second
York?
act
I
it
was like,
picks
oh,
up.
dang.
But for me personally, again, I'm glad that it's getting the enjoyment it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll bring back IGN in just a second. But for me, the reason I felt like it was slow to start was because I liked every character there. The problem is I haven't seen John Walker since
Captain America. I mean,
Falcon and the Winter
Soldier.
Soldier, which was a long time. Yelena was Black Widow.
No, that was Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. Sorry, yeah, Hawkeye. But
'Cause
she only
I
made
thought
like
it-
2-3 episodes.
I thought it was the
Oh,
same
no,
thing.
you're-
She was in like half the season.
Was she? All I remember from her in Hawkeye was that the moment I fell in love with Elena was when she got mac and cheese and sriracha. That was the moment I knew.
That was it.
That was it. I was like, yeah,
You have a wife.
yeah,
You
I
have a
know.
Daughter.
Yeah,
That's how you knew.
that's how I knew. And I'm like, that. I guess
And
that.
drop it all.
Fair hair
If she
No,
called
and
me,
weirdly pointed shoulders. Yes.
if she called me today, done.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm out.
That's how I knew that she was my favorite Black Widow.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
Then you have
but you
Ghost.
haven't seen, huh? And
Then
you have Ghost,
Ghost
which
from
was
Taskmaster.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Yes.
Taskmaster,
From
That-
Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Yeah.
But you have these characters that you haven't spent that much time, or you did spend time, but it was so long.
And they introduced them in the best way. They came out fighting
Mm-hmm. They did.
immediately. That is like how you're gonna get audiences engaged in a character that they probably don't even know or forgot. Let's just throw them in a fight, show the audience what they can do,
For me,
and they're gonna be hooked.
For me, it was just a little jarring. That's all it was.
I
But
feel
that's
that
just my personal
You could have
take
been
on
a
it,
little bit faster in like the storytelling if you didn't take so long to get to these characters.
Oh,
Like, if
to
it would've
get
been,
to,
like
yeah, the
right. If it would
mountain.
have been like right
Yeah.
after Hawkeye,
Mm-hmm.
right when they met like Yelena, and then because at that point you already met Ghost, you already met, and then you would have done this as an Avengers type-esque movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then you would have made Sentry a lot bigger. Then I can see, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
like because you literally just had Ant-Man and the Wasp, which was Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had John Walker inside of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Then and you also had
The timing was really off.
yeah, the timing was really off because two of the characters, because all of this was like almost a section, a whole
Phase.
away.
Yeah.
It feels like this should have been the last phase's ending
Yeah.
with all the characters because that was where they built them in last phase.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been the end of last phase, leading in to the multiverse phase because you still could have ended it the same way.
Yeah.
You still could have done everything else at the very end of the post-credit scene, and that would have been insane.
That would have been.
Yeah.
But
That
even
would have been
still,
such a different moment.
even still, you got to give credit to where credit is credit's due, where you took characters that you haven't seen in so long and you put them together and made it all work. And you still get a big pop with the mid or the end credit scene because the end credit was just great to see. Finally, that moment happens. But let me bring back IGN as to why they gave it a 7. Specifically, their biggest problem was that it didn't have the high that it wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And
The high.
exactly. So they were referring to like previous Marvel films where you kind of have like very low moments.
What
where
did they reference to?
Guardians of the Galaxy, where you like the first Guardians, where you
Yeah.
follow Peter Quill, the loss of the mother, and he's very sad and depressed. But then you get you see Peter Quill enjoying his life, still having his problems, but it ends on a happy note.
Yeah.
And Thunderbolts didn't have that. But that does piss me off because my favorite thing about the movie was the themes of depression.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I saw that and I'm just like, so do people really expect depression to have a happy ending? Because it doesn't. Granted, if you don't know Sentry, there are plenty of YouTube channels out there that will explain to you the history of Sentry. Variant is a good one.
Variant's a
New
great
Rockstars
New
did a
Rockstars
great one.
did a
Yeah.
hell of a good job.
Comics,
Did a good one.
Comics
Popped up on my
explain.
feed today.
The reason it's important though is because this Sentry is different from the Sentry in the
Slightly,
comic
yeah.
books slightly, and the Void is used as a representation of depression. And what I like about it is that they took the idea of the forgotten superhero and made that an element of, well, after his episodes, he doesn't remember anything. As someone that has gone through those traumatic episodes, I do feel that. I do feel those moments of like intense depression where it overtakes you, and then afterwards you just kind of like live your life and you just don't remember anything.
Yeah.
That is my favorite
You
aspect of that movie.
disassociate so
Exactly.
hard.
And it did have a happy ending. I'm not going to
I
say
think
that
it
didn't.
did.
It did.
Yeah.
But it didn't have the Hollywood everything is fine and rainbows and sunshines everywhere.
But you know what? From a bunch
Stupid
of
for them
It
to
is
even
stupid.
want that.
Yeah.
from a bunch of directors and production people and a bunch of people that were writers that all worked on A24 movies. That's kind of the point. Like that's essentially what happens in a
It's as
lot
close
of,
to life as you're going to get.
Yeah, that's essentially what happens in a lot of A24 movies where you don't get the Hollywood pop, but you get a story that has to deal with the characters and what they're going through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a satisfying resolution.
It's a fulfilling ending.
Yeah, it's a fulfilling ending,
Yeah.
and there's heart to it. And then we're not saying that they're all not depressed still. We're just saying that now they're going to be battling their depression as a group.
Yeah.
And they're going to be each other's
Support system.
system.
Yeah.
And that's a great message because I feel like if you just have the idea of depression just ends, that's not the reality of the situation. Depression just doesn't end.
Well, you mentioned
That's a
this
fairy tale.
2 weeks
Yeah.
ago that like we're a perfect example of this where I think like as I was watching the movie, I thought about us as like that kind of group. Like it is relatable in that sense because you did bring up this point like 2-3 weeks ago that this isn't just us gathering every Friday night to make content for people. This is kind of like an escape from everything, and it gives us at least 3 to 4 hours to be amongst brothers and kind of help each
Banter,
other
have
out. And
fun,
yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what ends up
catch
happening
up.
here.
Yeah.
We have the privilege that not a lot of friends have is we get to meet like once
Once
twice
a week.
consistently.
Once, twice a week, yeah.
And there's that similarity, but in Thunderbolts does a good job in that sense where you have people from all realms, right? None of these characters are the same. And in the end of the movie, they realize that they need each other
They
to
become
kind
family.
of a support group. Exactly.
I would say this is the better version of David Ayer's Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof, that's rough,
Yeah.
but you're right.
Yeah. No.
This is what David Ayer's Suicide Squad really should have been.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of like misfits that all
Yeah.
get together that then go off to go battle like a mystic witch and who's like just making people disappear. Oh my god, it is Suicide Squad.
It is.
Yeah.
Suicide
No,
Squad.
but you said this
No,
before
it-
the
it-
movie
No,
came
it
out.
is
Yeah.
Suicide
Oh my
Squad.
god.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna compare it to Guardians 1, is it better than Guardians 1?
For me, yes.
But
Really?
can you compare
Yeah,
them?
I say okay. I'll do it into 2 quick categories: music and overall enjoyment. Guardians of the Galaxy, hands down, because that soundtrack, the way I appreciate music and how it enriches the moment and really makes it stick. It's not just something that they throw on to cover up dead air or whatever. It's there for a purpose, and I really resonate with music being played in movies and how it's used to enrich scenes.
And that's James
That's
Gunn's.
why
And
it-
that's James Gunn's.
that's why
favorite
I
thing
would-
to do.
Yeah.
James Gunn, so quick, in a heartbeat, under the table.
Well, that and that.
Okay.
No, but and,
Now,
and-
overall enjoyment,
yeah.
Thunderbolts, the way it's shot, the action, the pacing, it was a great, fun
I was never bored.
Marvel action superhero movie. It's a great, fun superhero movie that you can relate to, you can see yourself in. It's not just touching on like the fictitious points of life, but also the realities that we all face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, Guardians of the Galaxy, it's fun, it's cheery, everyone's cool, happy ending, dance off. I still love it. There's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like that was just better.
I'm on the same side with Sean, but for a more different reason. But I see what you mean, and that's basically how I feel too. But for me, I like Thunderbolts more as a Marvel movie because right now it is actually probably top 5 favorite Marvel movie for me right now.
Ditto.
Because what I liked about it is that these are characters we've seen in past Marvel projects, but these are like the smallest villains and like the littlest characters. But now we're gonna put them in a movie. But you've seen these characters before, so
And it
we're
works.
it's very much familiar. But we never seen these characters together.
It's the
Yeah.
and I feel like that was the great thing about this movie, and I feel like that's
Yeah.
the reason why so many people are going to go see it,
Mhm.
are going to go see it,
Yeah.
because it's making so much money, is because it very much is back to form of
Yes.
you saw all these characters
Yes.
in smaller things such as TV shows or movies.
Do you know what it does? It makes watching all the
Worth
Disney
it.
Plus shows now.
It's the
Yeah.
payoff. We
Yeah,
finally
it-
got a really good
because-
payoff.
Because
Yeah.
if somebody goes into Thunderbolts, like my parents,
Yeah.
went to go see Thunderbolts
Yeah.
last night. I was surprised.
Have you enjoyed it?
They had a good time,
Uh-huh.
but I was really surprised that they were going to go see it in general.
Mhm.
And
On a
when-
Thursday,
on a
opening
Thursday
night.
Yeah. And I was like, really? You're gonna go see a Marvel movie opening night? And my dad was going, yeah. I looked it up and it had like a really good score. People are saying it's really, really good. So I'm gonna go watch it.
Yeah.
And my thinking is that when he came back, I got a lot of text message of, so they're talking about him being Captain. When was he Captain America? And
Yeah.
then what was it? And then they were talking about like this ghost lady, and they were like, well, like where did she pop up at? And then I was like giving him like a list of like he was in
movies
this,
and
this was in
yeah.
this was in this.
You
And
should have
then
just sent them the new Rockstars link.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Honestly.
At that point, I should have just sent him the YouTube video of what you need to know before watching this movie. But I feel that that's the thing that's been kind of missing from Marvel lately, is because every single thing and every single title that comes out from them, you're kind of like, okay, it doesn't like the whole
Yeah.
point of this was it was supposed to all connect. Now you're doing things and it nothing connects, because that was the weird thing for me about this happening in New York. But the last time that we saw New York was in Daredevil, and it's the
No
Purge.
mention of it.
Explained, no, they did in the
What'd
end
they
credits.
say?
When?
In the end credit, I'll get to it, because I do want to stick to Nick's point. So you're talking about in projects that have happened years before, and all of a sudden, all these people gather
Yeah.
in one movie. What movie does that remind you of, Nick?
It's an Avengers movie.
Oh, so it's an Avengers movie.
Yeah, it's almost like
Yeah.
a new Avengers.
It's
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Greatest reveal ever.
that was a good reveal.
Yeah.
I do like the
Asterisks
reveal.
removed.
Well,
the new Avengers.
I liked that because I liked the ending. I really liked the ending of this one where it's Juliana Dreyfus character is about to like get like apprehended by the team, and she literally slivers out of it by the news crew, and then that's the thing. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. At least she's not in jail. She's not dead.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
they
a
own
character,
her.
Yeah.
So I
did like that.
thought about
I
you
love
two.
that line.
Yeah.
We own you.
We
She
own
knows
you.
she's in
We
deep
own
caca.
you now.
I thought about you two
Yeah.
in that ending because you hate it when a good villain dies.
Yes.
Yes.
And then Nick comes over to me. He like leans over closer to. It was after her first interview with Sentry when he's in the little household.
Oh,
He
okay.
goes, he's just like, dude, she's such a good villain. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
because she is a good villain.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
she's a great character actress.
Yeah.
And I don't think they could have picked anybody better. I don't know if you've
Definitely.
ever seen her work besides Seinfeld.
Veep.
Veep.
Yeah.
I love
Veep,
her. In
yeah.
Veep. She's so good in Veep.
Yes.
Yeah.
She plays a really good Amanda Waller.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
does. She
Yeah.
has this-
She
no,
does.
and
Yeah.
honestly, that is very much what she is.
Yeah.
She's just the Marvel version of Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
But not
That works in
not
the shadows.
just one face. She's
Well,
got
she's
multiple
supposed to be.
faces.
She's supposed to
Yeah.
be part of the Serpent Society, but they're not doing that right now.
Well, because
Yeah.
I originally, and that's the weird thing with
Yeah.
New World,
Yeah.
with Brave New World and Captain America and all that, is that it was originally called the Serpent Society.
Yeah.
Then it got changed to Brave New World.
Or
Brand
No.
brand
no, Brave
New World Order.
New World Order.
Yeah.
That's what it was, and then it got switched again to
Mhm.
Brave New World.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing with that is that New Rockstars in their Easter egg breakdown were
Uh-huh.
talking about how what's the company that she has? Oxcorp.
Ox.
Ox.
OXE.
Yeah.
Ox. Okay.
Mhm.
So while the movie was playing, they kept saying it as Oxcorp, I think, and I'm just like, that sounds a lot like Oscorp.
Yeah.
And then New Rockstars was like, oh, this company doesn't exist in the comics, but they're using her as a replacement for Osborn. And I'm like, yeah, that totally makes
So it's
sense.
a shell
because
company.
Basically, yeah.
But
So
yeah,
it's
you
their
can-
version
you
of it.
can- You can easily go, what is Oxcorp? And if you like follow it down the line,
Yeah. The
it's
paper trail. Go down the paper trail and you'll
go down
find
the
out.
paper follow the
Because-
money and you'll find Oscorp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it doesn't make any sense to make the Dark Avengers in the Sacred Timeline. Because where would they fit? It doesn't. There's no real reason to have a group of villains become the Avengers.
I don't think they
But-
were villains, and I like how they show this in the movie. They're not villains. They're just people put in bad situations, and life happens. You know, Ghost didn't really want to kill anyone. She just wanted to not die.
She wanted to not phase in and out of existence.
And then you have Dime Store Captain America. I forget what she called
John
him.
Walker.
John Walker, U.S. agent.
No, what she? Oh, I know what you mean.
It was a really good
was a good
jab
line,
at him.
yeah.
It was so great.
You were Captain America for like 10 seconds.
No, but she calls him something. Dollar store Captain America or something. I forget. Yeah.
Like discount store Captain America.
He's a decorated war veteran. You know, he has a really good sense of morals,
Yeah,
and
he has PTSD, like a
He has
lot
like
of
he has
people,
the
like a lot of
meanest-
veterans.
yeah,
That's the thing, and he was
has
already.
he has mean PTSD.
And that with the super soldier serum, it just
Amplified it. It
amplifies
cranked it
your
up.
mentality.
But
do
have
like
you
that they
read
mentioned
any of the new line, like new Avengers stories?
No.
They're not like the actual Avengers with like heroes that don't have any problems. They're usually like a rounded group of individuals that are more human than anything else. And that's what makes this good. That's why this new Avengers line works, because they're not, you're right, they're not individuals like Tony Stark that overcame their problems, or Bruce Banner that like overcame his anger, right? Or, you know, Natasha, who is like no longer an assassin, but like has
or
something
Rhodey being able to walk.
But
Exactly.
I just think it's
yeah.
I think it's super funny because when you think about the Avengers, it was a bunch of people and they all had special abilities. You know, Thor was a god of thunder, and then you know Scarlet Witch.
You have a god at this
have-
time
you have-
around
you have
with
a- but-
Sentry.
the
But
thing is
none of
that-
them work.
But
Yeah.
no, but it's so funny though that like they even mentioned it earlier in the movie is like, oh, we all do the same thing.
Yeah. Do
We're
we all just shoot? Like,
we all,
do we
like,
just fly?
shoot? Like, do we all just shoot and fight? Like, is that all? Is that the only abilities we have? And like
Yeah.
they were like, oh yeah, except for Ghost, she can phase through things. And then she's like, yeah, but I have to know what's on the other side.
Yeah,
I can only
do it
phase for a
Basically
minute.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
idea of John Walker going only a minute.
and that was a great thing. The banter, the writing they did for the
Oh, it was
characters,
so
it,
good.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was
Ghost's character was so much better
It was-
in this
but
movie.
I
Yeah.
feel, and I
Yeah.
feel like they wrote the characters in the actors' voices because Wyatt Russell, he plays a perfect sarcastic dick.
Yeah.
He plays such a good.
He plays a good
sarcastic-
Trump supporter.
He
Yeah.
he plays a very good red hat.
Yeah,
And
he definitely wears a MAGA hat.
Yeah.
No, he was Trump 2028.
yeah, he's
God,
he's
no,
definitely looking
no.
for a third term on that one.
all right.
But,
Be quiet. Be quiet.
But
Okay.
anyway, I think, but he plays
jinx
such an overly righteous
Yeah.
like person
Mm-hmm.
that it's so funny, especially when they're like in that furnace room
Yeah.
where he's like, oh no, this is the plan. I'm supposed to leave and you guys get incinerated. And then they were like, why would
Oh, it's the elevator scene where he's like hitting me the stick so I can get up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like at the end of it, when they all get saved, he's like, "But did you die?"
Yeah.
but did you die?
Did you die?
I made a
Did you
tactical
die?
decision.
Yeah.
yeah, and everybody's alive. And it's like we all
Because
would've
of me.
died.
No,
No,
jackass.
we almost all died because of you.
So before we talk about the end credit scene, let's talk about one of the biggest stars of this whole show, David Harbour's Red Guardian. So Sebastian Stan, great. I feel like he probably played a tertiary character, and nothing bad with
No.
that. I think he still was a good
But he had a
supporting
great.
character.
He had a great entrance. Very
did.
Terminator.
Terminator, yeah.
Oh,
Terminator
oh
Judgment
my
Day.
God, I was
Yeah.
like,
You guys hear the
this is-
story of when they were filming that scene
No.
and they had so obviously Sebastian Stan can't do half of those stunts that they were shown in the movie.
Oh, he can't ride a motorcycle.
no,
like
he can't ride a motorcycle in real life like that.
that?
Well,
And,
Downey
so basically the
That's
stunt
wild.
double and then apparently this was a David Harbour and Florence Pugh story because they were cracking up. They go, the thing is that when you see Winter Soldier in the back and his hair's out, there's a guy driving the motorcycle. He's a great stuntman. He's a beautiful stuntman.
Is
They
he
go
in his
like
lap?
he's wearing a helmet with a wig over the helmet.
No.
And they said they were just laughing so hard.
So
I'll show
that's
you
in the
guys.
movie?
No, it's not in the movie, but it was when they were filming. So the shots when you see back of Bucky's head.
Yeah.
And he's doing the
Yeah,
swerving.
he's doing the swerving. That's the stunt guy
With the
helmet on, with the
With the
Bucky
wig.
wig
So
over it.
I'm gonna
That
see.
is-
Yeah,
I'm gonna see because I'm gonna watch it again on Sunday.
yeah.
Oh,
See
So I'm
if
gonna
you
see.
notice?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can notice.
Oh, I did notice that they did use a stunt double for Yelena's scene when she's trying to get to get to Bob
Uh huh.
Oh
in
yeah.
that
She
scene
jumped-
where she's
her
jumping
twins.
around. There's that
Yeah.
quick frame that they used like the front of her, and you could totally tell it was a girl in a wig.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, it's
okay.
fine. I
I,
didn't
was like,
notice. Yeah.
all right. I was all,
I feel like those
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of mistakes are
yeah.
all over the place. in
yeah, I was about
movies
to say
nowadays.
Yeah.
you're not gonna clean up everything.
Yeah,
Shirt leg guy from what was it? What Star Wars project was it?
Oh, yeah.
Where it's a guy in like
Mhm.
pants,
Oh, he's wearing pants.
You
Yeah.
mean-
and then the coffee guy.
Do you also mean the guy in Gladiator where he's just in straight up jeans and a t-shirt?
God,
And
yeah.
he's just standing on the sidelines?
Or all the
Yeah.
Starbucks cups in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Or the plane that was in Troy?
But no, David Harbour.
Did you ever see
don't
that?
talk
David
about that one.
Harbour was a good Red Guardian.
Yes.
Oh, he was
and
great.
I love the relationship between him and Yelena.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was so well done. It didn't feel
But that
like it was intrusive.
but that relationship builds from Black Widow.
Yes.
If you don't have the knowledge of Black Widow, you just you can still understand what's going on, but it's a lot deeper if you saw Black Widow.
Yes.
And it's also a lot deeper if you saw Hawkeye as
Yes.
well. Because in Hawkeye it's very much I am not here to hurt Kate Bishop. I am here to get revenge for my sister.
Yeah.
And that is all that matters.
Oh shoot, that is
Yeah.
it. Okay.
What happened?
This is the picture. Of the,
That's
I'm holding it because it's
Oh,
a video.
I got you. I'm
Okay.
holding it.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
See if you
Yeah.
can screenshot it and then send
Yeah,
it to
screenshot it. I can.
yeah.
I'll throw it like. There it
Now,
is.
can we move on to the end credit? Because I think we're at 140 right
Oh,
now.
yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
Only
the end
140?
credit. Yeah. Well, there's two. There's a mid credit, which is David Red Guardian showing off the Wheaties box.
Yeah.
Yes, which
Perfect.
I'm
Yo,
so happy he made
man,
another
that was
one.
so good.
Such a great scene.
So happy.
Yeah.
But the end credit scene is 14 months later. To track back on what you said about the whole New York thing, they mention Wilson Fisk in a line that is like super quick,
What was
which is Wilson allowed us to be here.
I'm gonna play because I actually recorded the end credit scene.
Did you really?
I did. I did.
Okay.
I did not post it on TikTok today because I'm like, you know
No,
what?
yeah,
No.
they're looking right now. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Well, then
Did
I'm
you
like,
actually
I want
record
to
it?
keep it for
Yeah,
myself.
you did.
Yeah.
You did record it? Oh, that's
Yeah.
I enjoyed it so much. I'm just
I'm
gonna
just-
keep it for myself.
Then watch it again.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
they literally are walking into the room and they say, "Oh, Wilson is the whole Wilson vigilante thing." That means that these events happened before the takeover of New York, but now he's mayor. Which basically, my assumption is that when Daredevil season 2 ends, he's going to allow certain vigilantes, probably because he agrees with the new Avengers and what they're doing, but they can't be street level. That's probably what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, because they're essentially.
It's gonna be a Soviet, the
Yeah.
Soviet Accords all over.
Yeah,
again?
I think it's.
Huh.
I mean, right now, this team looks like they're working with the government.
Yeah, well, they are.
Yeah.
And then they
so-
mentioned that Sam Wilson is not allowing the Avengers to.
Yeah,
like,
he's
because-
he's
yeah.
threatening to trademark
Well,
it.
Mhm.
he started his own team,
Yeah.
so there's another team of Avengers.
Yeah.
But again, you could go with the Avengers and then the new Avengers.
And
So-
I like the split up with Bucky and
Oh, and Cap.
yeah.
But you have that.
because we got it in the show, and now they're at end. It seemed from this end credit scene,
Mhm.
it seems like they're at ends with
Yeah.
one
It-
another
it-
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like the argument now isn't between Cap and Iron Man. Now it's Cap and Bucky,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where it's kind because it looks like Yelena is in charge, but it's really Bucky.
Yeah.
I want to point that out.
Yeah.
Like
there.
it's super funny when like an emergency is happening on the screen, and then Bucky is telling Yelena, but he's
Yeah.
like whispering it to her.
Yeah.
Of
Use
like, you
use
should
satellite
probably-
imaging.
You
Like,
should
Yeah.
probably get a satellite image.
But,
now. And then
yeah,
she's
I was
like,
about to
"Oh,
do
yeah,
that.
I
I
was
was
about
gonna
to
say
do
that.
that.
She's
He's like, yeah, you should probably zoom in.
mhm.
Can you zoom in, and then and like everything else.
Mhm.
I do think that at this point, Elena is the face of the
Yes.
new Avengers.
Yeah.
She is the Tony Stark. She is our new Tony Stark.
I think she's. I
is-
think she's more of the Captain America.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
she's the
no.
symbol.
Tony Stark was and I say this not in
face?
like in the movies, outside of the movies. When you associate Avengers, who started the Marvel franchise, it was Iron Man. It's
Oh.
always been Iron Man that is
No.
the
I'm,
Marvel.
No,
I'm
you're
talking
right.
in
you
the
know,
world, but
he's the poster boy.
I
He's
know,
been the poster
but
boy,
I'm
and I
talking
want
about-
Elena to do
I'm talking
that.
about in the MCU.
Yeah,
It's Cap. Because
Yes.
they even said too, how is it that Captain America that Sam can start his own Avengers? The government appointed us the Avengers, and then Bucky even says He has the shield.
He has the shield. Yeah.
Because he has the shield, that gives him the ability to form the Avengers.
Yeah, but it's the Avengers, not the new Avengers, and you still have the young Avengers still to potentially make.
Well, and I was telling Rene when we were in the show
Yeah.
that I feel like that's where this should have gone during the multiverse thing, is because that was a big thing that happened after the battle with Thanos. Who was going to pick up the slack? And I feel like no one's answered that in the last 5 years. Like in the last 5 or 6 years, no one's answered who is saving the planet right now.
They mentioned that in the movie too.
Yeah, and they're mentioning it in the movie, but that should have been Marvel's time to go, let's get weird. And let's start getting a bunch of B-list heroes. And let's start forming super teams.
Yeah.
And let's make some teams with
Well,
these
they could do it,
guys.
but their mistake is if Tom Holland is your street level hero, he's too big of a name, too expensive to use him for TV.
No, I 100% believe that you shouldn't use Tom Holland for that.
Yeah.
I think that if you wanted to do, we already formed the Defenders. Make it that the Defenders are defending
The
New
streets.
York.
Yeah.
They're defending the street level version of New York.
Jessica
We have the
Jones, Luke
in
Cage, Iron Fist.
California, we have the Young Avengers all the way in California.
Yeah.
Which are in San Francisco, and you could say that's like in L.A. because of Caltech, and that's where Camilla Khan went. You could say San Francisco
Or Ironheart. That's coming out soon.
or Ironheart, and then you have San Francisco where you have all the ant people. You have all like the ant people. You have Giant Man. You also have Ghost. That's what I mean though. You could have been building these super teams.
Yeah.
All over the country, and they're the ones that are dealing.
Kind of like season 2 of Teen Titans.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
And then by the time you would have gotten to Doomsday or even Kang Dynasty, when he throws you into Battle World, you have multiple teams that
Ready.
you're now working with, and it's like, oh, cool. Now they're in the big leagues. Now they're dealing with the other teams.
Yeah.
And then different
Multiversal
versions.
threats, no longer, petty criminals.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this team plays into effect with Doomsday.
Well, there's but there's nothing left for them to do because Doomsday just started filming. Once Fantastic Four releases in July, we go into Avengers Doomsday. So there's nothing left, which is gonna suck because if we just get the new Avengers and then they don't become a team after the events of Doomsday and then
I don't think so.
Secret War.
We might
gonna
see
suck.
them collide in Fantastic Four end credit scene.
I think in Doomsday.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
I think you have
And
to
then-
make them connect.
Yeah.
I think in Doomsday we're gonna get just whoever's left in the Marvel multiverse as of right now, but then we're also gonna get like Fox characters as well too.
Yeah,
We're gonna get a bunch of like
we're gonna get
X-Men.
the new
Yeah.
X-Men.
Yeah.
People are
And
saying
then-
Chris Evans, Captain America, might make a comeback for
They
Doomsday.
have him playing multiple versions of Captain America.
Yeah.
He's gonna be playing, and I think he's also. I think
A
they-
Nazi Captain America.
The Hydra one?
Hydra
Captain
Cap?
Hydra.
Hydra
That
Cap.
was it. But also, I
Ooh.
do want to see him as Human Torch again.
Yeah, we could.
I
That
mean,
would be
You have
hilarious.
Human Torch, Chris Evans. But you also
All right, he's gonna
That,
say the line.
that Spider-Man moment, we all have the same face, but
Like,
you
why
have
do we-
powers.
Yeah, like why do we all? I mean, technically, Captain America has powers.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
strength.
Yeah. But I mean, the end
The
credit
fighting
scene
spirit of
ends with
America.
the ship of Fantastic Four turning around, meaning that there's a cosmic entity that's about to affect the sacred timeline. Don't know if it's Galactus, don't know if it's Doom, but that's basically what it ends with. The Fantastic Four. Renee pointed it out because I think you heard the music. Yeah.
I saw I was looking through the end credits.
End credits,
Yeah, because I was looking through the end credits and I looked through the music because I try to pick out a song for Instagram for the post and stuff. So I'm like going through and I see Fantastic Four and I just went,
Yeah, it said Fantastic Four New Steps.
yeah.
And then he looked at it and he goes, "That wasn't in the movie."
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, guys, hold on. Did you guys hear that? I didn't hear
There we
crap.
go.
That was all-
Where was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
it
then-
was at the end credits, but it was good though. That's the thing. I'm also happy about this end credit scene because it ended hinting at the next movie.
Exactly.
Not like, oh, here's a big reveal
Here's
of something.
Hercules.
Yeah, of something that we're never gonna touch later on.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And that was the problem with Marvel. And I feel like with Thunderbolts, that's why that's why this movie is doing so well.
Yeah.
It's back to form. It's back to
Yes.
cool. You're gonna see this in 2 months. You're gonna get an answer to what this means.
Yeah.
In a month and a half, you're gonna get an answer for this.
Mm-hmm.
Not We'll bring it up.
I don't know. I mean, it took them like how long for Eternals, you know, and
Oh my
to Brave New
God.
World.
Well, because they never brought that. They weren't that. The plan was never to bring him back.
Yeah, they and that's the thing though, is that
That's
it's
a very big
so,
oversight.
It's so funny because if the Eternals wasn't such a bomb, then that
No.
probably would have come back in
Mhm.
Eternals 2, where they mentioned it with Fox and everybody else, and like the Eternals getting taken off planet and Hiroshima and all that. Because also, let's all remember that an Eternal has shown up to Earth and just disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Celestial.
Oh,
The
Celestial.
Celestial.
Yeah.
Well, 2 Celestials because Thanos is one. And they mentioned in the end credit scene because you have Satyr, the Satyr guy.
Satyr and Fox.
Yeah.
That they're because that's a
The guy from One Direction, huh?
Well, Galactus is the third Celestial. 2, 3, the fourth Celestial to appear.
But I mean like, but what I'm saying
On
is
Earth
that it's
is what I
another.
mean.
If they didn't do such big things with the Eternals, I don't think people would have had so many problems. That's why Eternals is so weird because you did it where there's an Eternal in the middle of the in the East China Sea. You made it so that way an Eternal showed up. You made it so that way like these people have been here since prehistoric times. They've been here since early humanity. And
They created humanity.
Yeah, they basically shepherded humanity to where it is right now. And no one mentions anything.
It's
No
not
one
in
talks
history or
about Yeah, but not only that, but also nobody talks about the fact that an Eternal showed up. Nobody talks about the danger of that. You think that if a giant alien were to show up that was the size that was bigger than the planet, that there wouldn't be White House like just Senate meetings of just like what was that?
No, the alien pops up from the ground, and the first thing they do is like mine it.
mine it.
We are gonna mine it and refine adamantium.
Turn it into a weapon.
You know what's so funny is that is the plot for Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the plot for Don't Look Up is like, oh, there's a meteorite that's going to strike the Earth and it's going to destroy everything. And then they were like, well, we should destroy it. And then one person goes, what if we mine it and make money?
The Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos character of the
There
Yeah,
movie.
like we can split it in half and make more money. And then when
Yeah.
they fail, they were like, so we failed.
We're leaving.
Yeah,
Bye.
We're leaving. Bye.
Earth blew up.
Yeah,
Oh well.
Earth is gone.
But overall, Thunderbolts is great. If you know what, I am glad that people are going into this movie not realizing where these characters might originate from.
Yeah.
Because it brings legitimacy to everything we've seen. It's not X-Men Days of Futures Past. For me. Whereas like I watched X1, X2, and X3 and now they don't mean anything. I watched everything beforehand.
The
now it
payout was
means something.
great.
Yeah,
The
the
payout
payout
was
was very
great.
good. I'm also super happy that David Harbour found his superhero
Yeah.
because he was a decent Hellboy.
He was alright.
Yeah.
He was an okay Hellboy.
Yeah.
He was pretty awesome.
He's a hero
Santa.
in Stranger Things for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think Harper is like.
He's a great Santa.
He's a
Yes,
great
he
Santa.
is.
He's a great
Great
Santa.
Santa.
Yeah.
But I am so glad that he found his franchise and that he found his second franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After
The Red
Stranger
Guardian's going to
Things.
be a California adventure starting
He-
May 2nd for
yeah,
a little
May
time.
2nd. It's starting to
He's
tomorrow.
today.
Starting tomorrow, so I'll be there. We'll see if we can
Yeah.
catch him. Yeah,
Dude,
MJ.
Red-
I'll show MJ. and be like,
Today's
"This is
the
my
second.
Yelena."
Yeah, today
to,
is the second.
when does he leave?
I
be
think
there
he's there
from
for
now
2
on?
weeks.
Oh,
It's
darn.
limited
Yeah.
time.
Dang.
Is he
Until the
limited?
movie,
Because
yeah.
Deadpool was supposed to be limited. He's there permanently
I think
now.
That's 'cause
you know
that's
Disney.
Deadpool. That's
You know
why.
Disney.
He brings in
Yeah.
money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They're not whatever brings in money.
I mean,
you
what
know
else would you go to Avengers campus for
True, but
before?
I do.
The Spider-Man animatronic that failed
Well,
a
no,
few times.
because
crashes into the
they've
wall.
started to replace certain characters, but they'll
Yeah.
still show up. So, like for example, Black Panther, they're slowly making it Shuri and not T'Challa.
Yeah.
But like they'll do it every
Continuity,
time.
man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's still T'Challa, but you'll have like Shuri make a little appearance here.
yeah.
And yeah, so Disney's weird about it, but whatever. Yeah, they're not the sacred timeline.
It's their
I-
IPs.
Yeah.
I did think it was interesting though because they showed a picture, and it was the cast of Doomsday stopped filming to watch Thunderbolts, and it was RDJ, Simon Yu, and it was like 5 other actors.
Did you see that RDJ spoiled it for everyone though?
That he has a shaved head.
No, that he on his captions for that he said the new Avengers.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, but I don't unless you watched it, you wouldn't know. Yeah, that's why it's like if
I
you know,
mean,
you know. But
Yeah.
But also, I think it was so close that it was gonna get spoiled.
Yeah.
Because we were walking into the movie theater, and I had gotten a notification for this is what the post credit means, where people were already like
posting
saying
and all
this
that
is
stuff.
what the post credit is.
Yeah.
So I think at a certain point, it's a fair game.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Because there were so many like YouTubers. and
Who's gonna be
everything else that were-
first? Who's gonna get there first?
Look at Voss, the guy over at New Rockstars. He said he saw the movie 4 times already.
Yeah, I don't know how.
So that means that he had 2 early screenings, and he's probably seen it twice already.
He went to the premiere.
And then he went to
And
the
he
premiere.
has a kid.
And he has a kid. What are you doing? He saw this movie 3 times. What are you doing?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know how he does that.
Yeah,
He's got your power, dude, where time is just irrelevant.
Time
Yeah.
is irrelevant.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
can watch
concept.
3 shows
Yeah.
in an hour
Yeah, dude. You just don't get it.
somehow.
You don't. You're not just binge watching 3 shows at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I think we should wrap this up.
Yeah.
All right.
Renee's yawning.
Yeah, I've
It's
been
over.
yawning.
Yeah. So, yeah, Thunderbolts, great movie. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up issue 246. Check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com for all the updated information. Socials, Instagram, Facebook, and xmen.com. Check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/keepingupwiththenerds. Check out our audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean, now on YouTube Music. Are you good?
Yeah.
You just like my hairy legs?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Ow! But yeah, no. Please go check out our interviews that we have of everything for Santa Fe Springs Art Fest. Please go comment down below, like the video, share them, let people know, let our vendors and friends and guests know how much you appreciate them showing to them.
You want
That way
attention?
they can be brought back for the 3rd year at Santa Fe Springs Art Fest. Hopefully next year. We'll see if we can get an invitation back. Shout out to Nick for editing the interviews, and this podcast will be edited by you.
Sean.
There you go.
Me?
Yeah,
Sean,
please.
Yeah.
Because I still have to do the skit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that said, they've been handling all the edits. So please let them know how much you like the stuff that you guys are watching in the comments down below, because they've been killing it as the editors.
Yes.
Great job. Takes
Thank
a load
you.
off of me because I can't handle the editing. I don't
They
know.
love to hold his load.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
With that said, Sean, are you ready to sign us out?
Yes. This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 246. I'm Sean,
Rene.
And Bryan.
and we'll see you all in the next one.
Bye. It's the middle camera.
Yay.
I burped and it kind of tasted like vomit.
Ooh.
Is that a good thing?
Acid reflux?
Yeah.